What's up? This is Derrick Brown of the Carolina Panthers. Shout out to Rashad and David of the Panther Nation podcast. The voice of the Panther Nation. Make sure y'all like them and subscribe. Keep pounding.
Yo, this is Panther legend Jonathan Stewart, and I just wanted to shout out to Rashad Beard and David Rhodes of Panther Nation podcast. The voice of the Panther Nation. Keep pounding.
You are now tuned into the Panther Nation podcast.
Delone fires to an open Smith. Steve Smith is going to go all the way. No flag down. Smith scores, and the Carolina Panthers win in overtime.
Seal able to drop. He's intercepted by Keekly. Keekly inside the 20 to the 10 and to the end zone for another Panthers.
Welcome to the Panther Nation podcast. And here are your hosts, Rashad Beard and David Roy.
Yo, Panther Nation. What's good? What's popping with y'all, man? Season is over. 5-11 it is. Dave, what's good with you, man?
5-11 it is, man. 5-11 it is. What's going on, man? I'm assuming you guys can hear me fine.
Ain't nothing to it, man. Hey, listen, that season went by so quick, man. Went by so quick, bro.
Considering that we're in a pandemic, you know, it flew. It flew.
Yeah, man. Joint went by super quick, man. What's good, everybody? What's good? Let's get a couple shout outs in this joint. Let's see. We got Antoine at Underground West, D Tice, what's good? Amari, what's up? Jason, my guy. Aiden, what's good? Nivrash, I can't pronounce your name, bro. My bad. Adrian, what's popping? Tim, what's good? The facts, he's right. Nothing but facts. Grandizer, my man, what's popping? Trill One, what's good? Pat, what's good? That's Pat. Pat Kilkenny. Jason, Jared, what's good? Eddie, what's good? What's popping? All right, so here's how this is gonna work. All right, so real quick, if you scroll up, I pinned it at the top. All right, I pinned it at the top. You click that link, and you'll be able. It's not live yet, but you'll be able to follow along as we drop these grades. We'll be able to see live on screen what you guys are grading as well. So just hold on to that joint. Hold on to that joint. Hold on to that. I saw the news. Antoine is saying that the Falcons and Titans won.
Titans
they
makes no sense.
Don't have an open.
They don't have an open.
Falcons. That probably makes sense. But yeah, so I am seeing the Joe Brady. People are requesting to interview Joe Brady. I don't know how that's going to work, if he's going to take it, but listen, this is what we said. If you watch this podcast, you've been paying attention since day one. Hey, we said this was going to happen. And this is why you always go with the offensive guy as your head coach, because of this situation right here. So this is not surprising to me at all. Not surprising one bit. Definitely saw this coming. But we'll talk Joe Brady a little bit later. We'll talk Joe Brady a little bit later. Near Vahash. Okay, got it. Near Vahash. I got it. All right. So my bad. My bad. Hey, listen, we need that cultural sensitivity training.
Look, man, you've been picking me up with Young Way, so you owe this one, brother.
Sign me up. All right, so make sure y'all click on that link. Make sure y'all click that link, all right, and follow along. You'll be able to see the live results come in. But real quick, before we get into the grades and all that, Dave, how was the weekend? How was the weekend? How was outside of the shellacking we took? How was everything?
I mean, it was all right, man. I found out about distance learning while I was doing the live stream, so I'm taking some days off at the beginning of this week. But overall, I mean, the weekend was pretty good. I mean, I've a lot of two people passed away that kind of hit me a little bit hard this weekend, bro. So I've been dealing with that too. So like, you know, it's been,
go ahead and talk about it. We got the A&T stuff on, so go ahead and let them know what's good.
So me and Rashad, as you guys know, we went to North Carolina A&T State University, and our the ninth chancellor of the university, Dr. Rennick, James Rennick, he passed away after a very short battle with ALS. I know, like right now, A&T is not the largest HBCU in the nation, but the work that he did kind of built the foundation for that to happen. Like, he had the vision to build the new dorms, to build the new buildings, to push to get certain grants for the university from the state of North Carolina. So Chancellor Rennick was heavily involved with that. And he was my chancellor when I was a student there. He was Rashad's chancellor when he was a student there.
Yep.
So this one kind of hit pretty hard for us.
He was chancellor when I got my first degree at A&T, and then obviously we had a change after that. So I did experience both chancellors. So Rennick was cool, man. Rennick was cool.
Yeah, man. Very personable guy.
Rest in peace to him, man. Yeah, cool dude.
Very personable guy. I remember the first time I met him, it was in the union, crazy enough. It was in the student union. He was staying on campus because people were giving him, the students were kind of critical about the situation of the dorms at the time. So he said, I'll stay in the worst dorm on campus to prove a point that if I'm willing to stay in there, you should guys. So he stayed at Cooper Hall for like a couple weeks.
Yeah, Cooper was rough.
Yeah. So for those who don't know, Cooper, that's the athletic dorm, but it's probably at the time was one of the worst dorms. Yeah, one of the worst dorms on the yard. So so he did that. I mean, he had phenomenal leadership. I remember going up to him saying I needed a scholarship. He was like, well, you get me the grades, I'll get you the scholarship. And he came through. I showed the grades and he got me some money, so I can't knock him. I'm not Marcus. I don't think he got a Cooper Trooper while he was on the yard, man. That man trying to keep his jobs, bro.
Hey, you gotta stay away from the Cooper Troopers. Yeah, that's funny, man.
But my wife is now in the shot trying to look for something. But either way, and another person that passed away. For some of you guys are hip hop heads. Is MF Doom, who passed away. He passed away on Halloween, which is fitting considering his persona, but his family announced it New Year's Eve. You had to move into Cooper dorms one semester. I stayed in Scott. I was a Scott guy. I was in Scott B.
Sweet
Cooper's still there.
For your boy.
Yeah. I was in Scott. But anywho, yeah, man. Doom is he influenced a lot of guys like Tyler the Creator, Earl Sweatshirt, Lupe, a lot of MCs that he influenced, especially on the independent side of the fence. Crazy story, too, of how he ended up as Doom. But phenomenal MC. Very mysterious. He used to have Doom bots. It was. And I had a good spot, too, man, because in Scott, I was in the basement, right by the door. So I never really had to sign anybody in. So it was a pretty good spot, to say the least. But all right, man.
Yeah.
I'm done warning, man. But
yeah, let's jump into this. Let's jump into this content real quick. So we got shellacked by the Saints. It's no need for us to talk about the game. Y'all saw it. It's been the same story. It is what it is. And so, ain't really nothing to talk about,
I'd rather keep talking about Doom at this point. I don't want to talk about this game.
Yeah.
The highlight of the game to me was when Emmanuel Sanders looked up after he got his 8th catch to say he got his money. That was the highlight for me. Yeah, that was the highlight for me.
Yeah. So we didn't look good. Nothing looked good. We're gonna surmise the entire season because there's no really point talking that game. You saw it. We all saw it. So let's just jump into some content here. We're gonna go into the season grades again. Remember, click that link up top. It's pinned to the top. YouTube. Make sure you follow along. It says live. So if you lagging behind, you're gonna be SOL. You might need to go to the link on your phone. That might help out so you can watch. Put us on the screen and follow on your phone too. However you want to do it, but you're gonna need a couple devices to make this work so you can see the live results. All right.
Yeah.
So
it might be a sync problem too. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll test it out and see how it goes and rock with it. All right. So we're gonna start off with the rookie grades. We're gonna grade each rookie, and then we'll go from the rookies. We'll go to the position groups, and then we'll go down to the coaches. And we got one bonus one at the end. So we got a bonus one at the end. So all right, get your popcorn ready. Should be rather interesting. I saw Dave's grades, and it should be interesting. All right. So okay. So let's get into it. Derrick Brown. Let me start this real quick. So I test voted. But you can kind of see my grade. But you should be able to go to the link now, put your grade in. Yeah, there you go. You see the live grades coming in. There
Oh,
you
that's
go. You
dope.
guys got it. You
Oh,
guys
that's
got
dope.
it. You guys got it. You guys got it. It won't tell me how many people are voting. That's cool. Oh, 10 votes. I see 10 votes so far. Let's get the votes up. All right. So let's talk about Derrick Brown real quick. Derrick Brown, he's on PFS All Rookie Team. That's a little trophy in the corner. You see that? He made the All Rookie Team for PFF, which is PFF is tough, man. Them dudes are tough. They some tough graders, bro. So he accounted for 34 total pressures. That's first amongst interior defensive linemen as far as rookies go, and second behind only Chase Young as far as all rookie pass rushers. All right. So pretty good. He added 2 sacks, 4 batted passes. Pretty good pick right there. Again, it's a defensive tackle position. So, it's a situation where, you're not going to get a lot of sacks. Unless you're Aaron Donald, you're not going to get a lot of sacks. The numbers not going to show up on the screen. But those pressures is what we need as a interior lineman. Those pressures are what matter. And for the fact that he had 34 of them things, that's impressive. All right, that's impressive. So, you guys are saying B. You got 5% saying A, and it's changing. But here's Dave and I's grade. Let me see here. Come on. There we go. Here's Dave and I's grade. So I gave it a B. Dave gave it a B plus. I gave it a B. Solid grade. I think and again, when we're talking about these grades are from start to finish, right? It's not, oh, we're gonna look at the first half of the season and just grade the second half, because he played well the second. He struggled a little bit in the beginning. He hit the little wall there, and he had some penalties, some things he had to get through as a rookie. It happens to all rookies. So I gave it a B, solid pick. No problem at all. I love the pick. B is good. B is a good grade. I'm cool with it. Dave, do you want to explain your grade at all?
He would have gotten an A, but I think you saw some of the discipline issues at the beginning of the year when he was getting some of those penalties. Overall, though, man, he had a pretty good rookie season. I mean, defensive tackle typically has a high bust rate from a draft perspective, and I don't think we have that with him. I think he had a solid year. When I saw that he was on the rookie team, I was like, yeah, he deserved it, because he played really well, especially down the stretch. Yeah. When most rookies hit that wall, and he played very strong down the stretch, so I gave him a B+.
Yeah, down the stretch, he was really good. Again, he started off good, hit that wall a little bit, kind of disappeared, and then came back strong the last couple games. So shout out to Derrick Brown. We got a good one. And I got the PFF grade at the top. That's just for y'all reference. Take it for what it's worth. I don't, put a whole lot of stock into PFF grades, but it is a good starting point, just to kind of get you in the mind, in the right frame of reference. All right. So shout out to Derrick Brown. Again, good pick. Panned out well, no problem at all. All right, moving on. All right, so here we got. Let me move the poll. I'll move the poll. There you go. Yetur Gross-Matos. Again, this cat, he had added 20 total pressures, 3 sacks, 1 forced fumble. He did miss 4 games this year with injury and COVID. Up and down season for Yetur, but I like Yetur, man. I liked him out of Penn State. And he did pretty well. Again, 2nd round pick. The D. You got D's.
Yo,
you got C's.
son.
Man, y'all are tough. Y'all are tough.
I thought I was tough.
Y'all are tough, man. But yeah, I think I don't know what I gave this. Honestly, I can't remember what I gave this pick. Yeah, I gave it a B-. That's about right. I gave it a B-. Again, due to the injuries, I think he probably could have played. I think he started feeling it. I think around the Falcons game. Right, I think in the Falcons games where he got his first sack, and then after that first sack, he got hurt. He got hurt during that game, and he was starting to get it going. I think he never had a chance to really get it going due to the injuries, bro. So I think again, he's more of a run stopping end, and I think it's going to start to come to once he puts it together. He had a rough start now, bro. He had a rough. I mean, they were killing him. He got benched because he allowed the big plays in the run game. He had a rough start, bro. I think he's he ended the season well and good enough for me. I saw some things I like. I gave him a B minus. Dave, you want to give your
Yeah,
grade?
I gave him a B. Yeah, he had a rough start. He had some injuries going on, but he improved over the course of the season. So I said, all right, you can see the potential there. You can see that we got pretty good value for the pick where we took him. So that's why I gave him a B. Considering everything for the entire year, I thought he was a B. I mean, I think within a full off season, he's gonna show more growth.
Agreed. It's gonna take some time for him, man. He gotta put it together. And that's why I'm glad. This was kind of a down year. It gives these young dudes opportunity to get in with no pressure. You know what I'm saying? Just play the game, bro. Learn while we sorry, so that when we're good, you guys are at your peak. So I think this is a good thing. So shout out to you two. I got T in the cup, bro. T's in the cup. All right, so here we go. Jeremy Chen. Again, I'm flipping the switch for y'all. Jeremy Chen is live. All right. So Jeremy Chen, all rookie PFF team, 117 total tackles, led the team. Dave, 1 sack, 2 forced fumbles, 2 fumble recoveries, both for touchdowns. We saw that. Interception, 5 pass breakups. And he was rookie of the month for October and November, bro. Somebody's trolling with the F, though. Don't do that, man. Somebody's trolling with the F. But shout out to Jeremy Chen. Shout out to Jeremy Chen, man. Hell of a rookie. Again, 2nd round pick. We didn't get Isaiah Simmons. Most thought we were going to take Isaiah Simmons. Ended up with a similar type player. Utilized him in that Phil Snow system, and he turned out very good. So Dave, I think, yep. So Dave gave him an A+. I gave him an A. Reason why I gave him an A and not an A+, because I don't think he's perfect. I don't think he's perfect. I think he's got some things to work out in the coverage game. But again, I think that's going to come. I couldn't ask for much more than what we saw. He's only a rookie, but he's not perfect by any means. I don't want to put that across. A+++++ is
that's how many. I had a lot of pluses.
Yeah, you had a lot of pluses, but I'm nitpicky. I'm being nitpicky. But go ahead.
Yeah, I gave him I gave him like 6 or 7 pluses after the A, and part of the reason why I did that was because of the fact of where we took him. I think I remember a lot of the Panthers fan base with their Clemson bias wanting Isaiah Simmons, and we ended up with this guy. Some people weren't too happy about it, but the boy balled. He balled out of his mind. Arguably, he could be the steal of the draft. We might end up with the steal.
Round pick. Yeah, 2nd round pick. But yeah, he was definitely steal for sure. Steal for sure, bro. Listen, I did not expect what I saw from Jeremy Chen. I was a little bit low on him coming into the season, and then all I heard was Dave saying that's Atwater's nephew or whatever the case may be.
I was sold there off gate. That's all I need to hear. I'm like, oh, he got different type of blood in him, man. And that's what he showed. He showed out. I mean,
man. He's a baller, bro. He's a baller, and I'm looking forward to what they do with him in the future. There's a lot of talk, a lot of chatter about moving him to safety full time, and we'll see how that goes, man. Again, we got Justin Burris there right now, but you move him to full time strong safety, and he could, essentially do the same thing he's doing now. Did that run support. He's been, all over the field, bro. He's been a killer. Shout out to Jeremy Chen, bro. Jeremy Chen has been balling. And I don't think he's going to win D-Roy. I definitely think that's going to be, solidified for Chase Young. Just due to the fact that, go ahead.
They're in the playoffs. Them being in the playoffs helps Chase Young.
It does.
It does. But you never know, man. You might actually got some media people that actually does work and not just go to the major market teams. Did I say that out loud? Yeah, I did. I don't care.
Yeah.
But
so Sneaky Slate. The reason why his PFF grade is so low is because he's great. I think PFF grades him as a safety. They don't have a grade for just do it all. They don't have a grade for that. They don't have a grade for the man on defense. They had to create his role on the PFF on all a rookie team is like, I forgot what they called it. It's like a bonus. It's like a bonus a bonus guy in their thing. So they don't have there's no way to grade him. And again, they're hard on him for the coverage. And I think that's why his grade is so low, is because his coverage grades. And again, he's not a perfect. He's got to do some work. Flex, there you go. Jason, appreciate that. A flex defender, whatever the hell that means. They don't have a name. There's no way to grade what Jeremy Chen does through PFF. There's no way to box. They're boxing him in at safety. You know what I'm saying? So there's no way to grade it, and that's why his grade is so low. That's why I say you take it with a grain of salt. You know, it gives you a good reference point, but at the end of the day, you got to use your eyes and be able to kind of locate your own and use your eyes and trust your eyes. But anything else on Jeremy Chen, Dave?
Nah, man, he balled. Bottom line, he balled. And I understand why he's not going to win Defensive Rookie of the Year. That doesn't make it right. But you never know, man. Like I said earlier, I mean, you never know. It all depends on how the media coverage goes. If Chase Young's a disappearing act during the playoff game, it might make people rethink it. You never know. But it's probably going to end up at Chase Young. But I'm hoping that he gets it. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I think it'll be close. Hopefully, get some All-Pro, All-Rookie honors and all that good stuff, man. Add to his resume. But he's a baller, bro. He's a baller. All right, moving on. Moving on from Jeremy Chen. Troy Pride. So we got Troy Pride up next. I'll move the voting for you guys. Troy Pride. Let's see. Let me get my notes here. Troy Pride. He played in 14 games. I think he missed the last 2 due to injury. He had 42 tackles, 2 pass deflections, only allowed 2 touchdowns the whole season. His worst game was essentially his first game. And he allowed 6 receptions in that game for 106 yards. And again, he was not supposed to start. We had Eli Apple. All those dudes got hurt. He was not supposed to start. He came out there the first game and he held his own. You know what I'm saying? He held his own. Even in the Vikings game, I thought he held his own in that game. It was up and down for him. But listen, cornerbacks really struggle coming into the league. They always struggle coming into the league, bro. Like look at Okudah right now. Okudah's struggling with the Lions right now. Corners always struggle, bro. Or for the most part. Obviously, you have some that play well, but for the most part, corners struggle. And for him to be a 4th round guy, for him to be a 4th round pick and come in and play the way he played, I think he played all right, man. I think he played all right. I forgot what I gave it, but Dave, I gave it a C. I gave it a C. He was up and down. He was up and down. He was up and down. But again, considering the circumstances, I think he played well. And I don't think you could ask much more from Troy Pride. He played well, man. He played well. I think we need to upgrade him. I think we need to get a better cornerback next year. But I think he's a solid rotational piece for sure. So I like him. I like him, man. I'm a fan of Troy Pride. Dave, you want to explain your grade?
Yeah, man. Like I thought that he played pretty well considering the circumstances. Like I'm a little bit more easier than a lot of folks from the standpoint of knowing that new head coach, no off season, it was a different kind of year for these guys in general. So I thought he played well considering the circumstances in the draft selection and where he was at. I mean, I think he's going to improve. Do I think he's going to end up being a shutdown corner? It's too soon for that.
No, it's a bonus if that happens, man. He's not going to be a shutdown corner, but I think
he might not need to be.
Like, listen, if a guy goes down, Troy Pride can come in and be serviceable. That's all I'm asking from Troy Pride. All right, that's me. That's just me. I'm not asking much from Troy Pride. Again, 4th round pick. And let's get these votes up too. I only see 22 people vote, and it's 96 people watching. If you go up to the link at the top in the chat, you'll see it's pinned to the top. So click that link and you'll be able to watch and vote at the same time. So let's get these votes up, bro. More participation, man. But all right. So let's move on. Let's move on.
There will be a lot of rewards because of the thinness at the cornerback position, Grandizer. There's going to be a lot of rewards over time if he learns from it. A lot.
Facts. Facts.
A lot. Who's next?
All right. Moving on. Kenny Robinson, man. This is Kenny Robinson. It's live. There y'all go. It's live. So listen, man.
Yo,
y'all are tough,
at 100%. Yo, no,
well, listen, you got some D's in there, bro. Some D's. All right,
Nah, he get a
so
couple
an A.
B's.
Y'all trolling now.
Nah,
Just gotta be some trolls.
the A's the troll, man. He doing the opposite of what
All
he
right,
should
so
do.
Braveon Roy, not Braveon Roy, so Kenny Robinson. Excuse me, I'm looking at my notes. Kenny Robinson, he was cut. Excuse me, and then brought back. So he was a 5th-round pick, cut, then brought back onto the practice squad. He only appeared in real action this week, week 17. This is the only real action. I think he came in, played some special team snaps, but for the most part, he ain't really seen the field, man. And for you to be a 5th-round pick, and
He got cut.
and got cut,
And then came back.
and then what blows me? Pause. What blows me is that everybody touted this dude, and I saw it if you go back and look at my film session when we drafted this dude, I was like, yo, I don't see it. I don't see it. Everybody touts this XFL experience. Oh, he's the only guy. He's got the NFL experience.
This draft pick was all about the fact that he played in the XFL, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
Period. Thanks, Jerome. Thanks, J-Sip. Appreciate it, bro.
J-Sip, man. Appreciate that, bro. But yeah, make sure just get these likes, get the likes up too, and make sure we get these votes up. Let's get these votes up, man. It's a lot of people, 100 and some people watching. We gotta get these votes up. All right, so but yeah, appreciate that, Jason. But yeah, man, this dude got cut, bro. Unacceptable. He got cut. Played in the XFL. Everybody touted his XFL experience. Thought he was gonna be good. Nah, I looked at this film session or his film reaction video. Go back and look at it. I was like, yeah, nah, that ain't it. He ain't it. I didn't see it then, didn't see it now. And what I should have did was go back and see what we could have had instead of him. But I ain't gonna do that. I ain't gonna do that to him.
Perf got the quote of the day though. First
What'd he say?
First A he got, he never cheated for.
Oh man, that's tough.
That is rough sledding.
That's tough.
Oh, Perf.
That's tough. All right, so let's what do we give it?
Oh,
Dave and I gave it an F. Yeah, Dave and I gave it an F.
We don't have to explain either. At the part of he got cut, that ended the discussion of his grade at that point forward. As soon as you said we drafted him and he didn't make the team, and then we brought him back, F immediately. I don't need to see anything. Next.
Yeah.
Who's next?
Who's next? All right. So next up is Braveon Roy. I spoke him up a little bit too early. Braveon Roy, again, played all but 1 week. And that was in week 13. I think he had an injury. He had 1 sack, 10 total pressures. Did a decent job, man. Decent job. Braveon Roy came in, got a lot of playing time, a whole lot of playing time. Did a decent job, man. I like Braveon Roy, bro. I really do. I like him. And listen, a lot of people were down on him. And I think the reason why he went undrafted was because of his short arms. He's got short arms for a defensive tackle. He's 6'1", 330-some pounds. It's tough. You gotta get low to block this kind of cat, bro. And I think he offered a challenge for some of these dudes. Again, not perfect, but for a 6th-round pick, for him to come in and do what he did, I think he did a good job, man. I think he did a damn good job. Dave, you want to speak on this? Do you remember what you gave him?
I think I gave him a C+, if I remember correctly. I gave him a C.
Yeah, you gave him a C.
I might have been too harsh. The more I think about it, I might have been too harsh.
Yeah, I gave it a B+. And again, and it's all about the context of where he was picked. He was picked 6th in the 6th round. And listen, for a 6th-round pick, bro.
I want to change my grade to a B. I might have been too tough on him. I think for a rotational piece, he did really well, considering he's the 6th-round pick. I might have been.
Y'all are tough, man. Y'all are tough. There's lots of C's still. I mean, I think he's worth at least a B grade, bro.
Yeah,
for a 6th-round pick.
The more that I think about it, I probably should have gave him a B. I probably should have gave him a B, because
y'all tough, bro.
He, considering that he's a 6th-round pick, and considering that he played every game pretty much. I mean, that's you want your rookies to play, and that's what he did.
I said this about 3 or 4 weeks ago, but he played about half the snaps that Derrick Brown played. If you extrapolate the numbers, they're pretty close.
Even.
They're not even. I wouldn't say that, but they're close. You know what I'm saying? It makes it pretty close. So I don't know, man. I definitely think he's worth a B. I gave him a B+. That's me though. That's me. All right. We'll move on. Y'all are tough crowd, man. Appreciate the grades though. All right. Here is Stanley Thomas Oliver. Stanley Thomas Oliver, he appeared in 5 games this year. He allowed 6 receptions for 79 yards and a touchdown. Really didn't see him much at all. Got some special teams work, but really nothing to kind of. I really didn't have nothing to really go off of for STO. I forgot what I gave him. I gave him a C. I gave him a C. Dave gave him an F. You are tough, Dave, on these late round cats. What you expecting, bro? What you expecting, Dave? You expect this dude to be Deion Sanders, bro? What you expecting?
Nah. I expect,
what y'all expect?
I'm shocked by the PFF grade, to be honest with you. That's a higher PFF grade than Chen.
Yeah, that's why I say it's all about that's why I don't fool with PFF like that. It's limited snaps too. He had limited snaps. His PFF grade was like a 70 something at one point. So I there's
a reason why that man wasn't on the field like that. I was tough on him. I get annoyed when a lot of folks don't play like that, bro. Like, that's why I said maybe I was too tough on Roy, but I'm tough on cats that ain't getting the time because we're one of the youngest teams in the NFL. We got one of the youngest defenses in the NFL. So, like, we draft you, you should try to strap up and try to get some more time in. But that's where I'm at.
Seventh round pick, bro. Y'all are tough, man. You got F's, D's. I gave it a C, man. I really didn't see nothing. So, you get an average grade.
Here's my thing, right? So, like, I'm looking at these grades and I'm thinking about, like, in my head while I look at the grades, I'm also thinking about the draft needs and what a lot of folks want. So a lot of folks that are giving this guy C's and B's, that means you really don't need to be taking a corner early. We got 2 corners that we drafted that we rated pretty decent as a whole from a poll perspective, right? So, yeah. We probably shouldn't be drafting early another corner.
You said we should?
Should not.
Nah, I think we should.
All right,
should absolutely upgrade the position, bro.
No,
just me, though. Just me.
I'm just saying, like, I think the safety might be a little bit more important. Kenny Robinson out here failing, and a lot of people don't like Trey Boston, and so it's all perspective.
Jeremy Chen, man. Jeremy Chen's a safety.
Yeah, he's both.
All right, so that's gonna wrap up the rookies. We didn't go into the undrafted rookies. It was too many, so I didn't want to go that route. So, but we're gonna move into the position groups. We'll get into the position groups, and talk about the position. We're gonna grade them all. Again, get your popcorn ready. This should be rather interesting.
I know I was.
That's the rookies, though. That's the rookies. All right,
I might have been harsher here than I was in the other one.
Quarterback. All right. So, and when we talk about quarterback, it's really limited to Teddy Bridgewater. All right. We didn't see anybody else for the most part. We didn't see anybody else for the most part. So it's kind of all over the place, bro. It's all over the place. All right. So Teddy Bridgewater. All right. So Teddy, this is
y'all ready to grade this one. Y'all I'm gonna tell y'all something right now. Y'all ready to grade this one, man. Y'all ready for this? That joint moving like the markets.
This is Teddy. This is Teddy's first time playing a full season since almost a full season. He missed 1 game. Almost a full season since 2015. Finished with career highs in yardage, touchdowns, and completion percentage. I think he had 3,733 passing yards, 15 passing touchdowns. Added 5 rushing touchdowns to that. He averaged about 289 per game. If you add that to the game that because he did miss a game, so if you take his average and add that to his total, he would have been close to 4,000 yards. 4,000 yard. He would have been close to a 4,000 yard season, just under. It's been a rough go for Teddy. I think he started out okay. I think he started out the way we needed him to start out, and then it just went downhill. And I don't know if it was due to him, and you heard Matt Rule kind of talk about it. I think the fatigue might have got to him. He started breaking down, bro. He just didn't hold up. Something wasn't right. I don't know what it was. Something wasn't right. You can debate a lot, but things did not go as the defense got better. I think his play kind of deteriorated. And I think it went downhill. If Teddy could have maintained how he started, I think we would have ended up having a few more wins. But he just went He just went downhill, bro. And I can't really explain what happened. I don't know. But I guess this is who Teddy is. Again, I think Bomani said it best. Teddy Bridgewater is not the guy to lead a bad team. He's a solid, an average quarterback, but he's not going to lead a bad team. I think we were a bad team this year all around. You can say what you want. I think we could have been better. But at the same time, I don't know. I don't know. So, Dave, what's your thoughts on Teddy? Do you remember what you gave the quarterback?
I believe it was a C.
You want me to put it up here? Do you want to put it up here, or first? Do you want to talk first?
Hold on. Let me see.
I'll put it up here. Put it
up there, man. I believe it was a C, though. Yeah, it was a C.
Yeah. So, go ahead, Dave.
He had a spark when he started, but then he ended garbage, man. I mean, that's what it boiled down to. And I mean, like, I'm gonna give him some credit with the 4,000 yard guys, because he was still the maestro of the offense at the quarterback position, so he deserves some of that credit. I mean, we're the 15 to ever do that, even though that didn't really equate to wins. But as Jared said, appreciate the donation, Jared. But what it boils down to is that, like, he couldn't close out games either, and all 8 of those games weren't his fault. But the fact that he couldn't close, the fact that he was the leader of the team, he's going to get the heat for it, even if it wasn't his fault. And for him to go, the fact that it ended up being 0 for 8 makes it even worse. Even though he doesn't deserve all the heat, and that's why I gave him a C. Because I thought at the beginning of the season he was playing pretty well. I really did. I thought he was playing at a very high level at the beginning of the year.
He was playing okay at the beginning. I wouldn't say a high level, Dave. I would say he was playing okay at the beginning of the year. He was top 5 in passing for, I think, the first 5 or 6 games he was top 5 in passing.
That's the thing,
right? He was doing good. Go ahead.
The only beef I had with it was the fact that he didn't have the touchdowns. Other than that, I mean, top 5 in passes, you can't be mad at that, bro. But like the fact that he wasn't getting in the end zone. Well, my point is that at a point in the season, at the beginning of this year, he was a top 5 passer in this league. And so you're ranking ahead of folk, you're ranking ahead like top 5. That means if I name Rodgers, Brady, Mahomes, Watson, Wilson, he was ahead of one of those guys. So that says something. But then it just fell. At the beginning in one of my leagues he was. But
so yeah,
I changed my quarterbacks like underwear in fantasy, bro.
Yeah, so I think again, I think Teddy started off good. He started off fine, and then I don't know what happened. Again, whether you can say again it was his first time playing 15 most of the season. He had been a backup for a while. I don't know if teams adjusted. I don't know what it was. You can point to a lot of things. You can point to coordination. You can point to Joe Brady not adjusting. Again, you can point to a ton of things. I just think it did not end well. He just went downhill, bro. It just went downhill. We'll talk about Joe Brady at the end of the season, or at the end of this joint when we grade the coaches. But yeah, I think there's a lot of blame to be passed around. I think Teddy is a good quarterback. Again, you take Teddy and put him on a contender. I think he can get you to the playoffs. If you take him and go to like the Colts, for instance, I think he's a playoff quarterback.
He could take them to the playoffs.
But he's not going to take this team as it stands. You got guys trying to figure it out. It's not a good scenario to put Teddy Bridgewater in. He's not that quarterback. He's not that guy. So he needs more help is what I'm trying to say. If you support Teddy, you give him an offensive line, you give him a defense, and I don't know, maybe this whole scheme was schemed around McCaffrey. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But you give him McCaffrey, if you give him all that, I think he may fare a little bit better than what he played. Go ahead, Dave.
Did you hear how Rule threw that man under the bus during his presser today?
No, I heard some snippets. What'd he say?
He basically said that he has to have a tremendous offseason. Said that he didn't close the season like he should have closed the season. I'm paraphrasing.
Yeah, no, I think it's all accurate though. I think it's accurate, man. Teddy did not close the season good though. We got to be honest.
No, he didn't. No, absolutely not. Absolutely.
I don't think anything Matt Rule said was a lie. Everything was true.
Marcus said, could he lead the Colts to a chip? I mean, with that defense,
I don't
that
know.
talent, I mean,
I ain't gonna say that, but
maybe.
I think he will lead them to the playoffs. I think he will lead them to the playoffs for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. He would lead them to the playoffs. I mean, but when it's playoff time, man, the defense has become more important when you're in the playoffs, bro. I don't think
That's
folks
a fact.
understand how. I don't think folks are going to understand this weekend when the wild card starts how important defenses are. Watch them mess around and beat Tampa Bay. I think y'all will understand that.
All right, so let's wrap this up. Let's wrap the Teddy Bridgewater talk up. Again, everybody knows that we have been, Teddy guys for the most part. We supported Teddy. I wouldn't say we're Teddy stans, but we supported the dude. And we were hoping for him to turn it around. It just never came. He's got to take some of the blame. And I think there's a lot of blame to be passed around. But to answer the question, I think I asked this in the group, the roundtable discussion that we had, to say if Teddy's the franchise guy. No, I don't think he's a franchise guy. You can do better than Teddy Bridgewater. And if you're not going to build a team, if you're not going to invest and build the defense and build the offensive line, and you're gonna just hodgepodge and stick all linemen together, then Teddy's not your guy. Teddy's not going to be your guy. You need another guy to kind of figure that out. But if you're not going to build a team the right way, then Teddy's not going to be your guy. If you're going to build a team similar to what the Colts are doing, fix the offensive line, build a good defense, then Teddy could be your guy. But all right, so Dave, anything else?
Let's move on, man. Let's get to the next position.
All right, moving on. Let's see, running backs. Running backs are live. This includes Christian McCaffrey, and it includes Mike Davis and all the other guys. All right, so here we go. Mike Davis. I'll speak mostly to Mike Davis. Mike Davis finished with 642 rushing yards, 6 touchdowns, added 373 receiving yards for a total of 1,015 all-purpose yards. He had two receiving touchdowns as well. Everything I just said for him was a career high. So he made himself a little bit of money. One thing I'm critical about, what?
A little bit. Dog, he's gonna.
Oh yeah. Oh no, he made us some money. Yeah. He made himself some money for sure. He made himself some money. I see some people trying to say they want to keep him. It's not happening, bro. It's not happening. We already
paid our running back.
We already sink $16 million per year into Christian McCaffrey. We're not paying a dime to nobody else, so it's not happening. One interesting stat here, Dave, was that we ranked 21st in rushing attempts per game. Again, Teddy needs a run game. If you're going to have a quarterback like Teddy Bridgewater, you have to support him with a run game. And I don't think we did that very well at all. I don't think we did that at all. We didn't run the ball enough. We never established a run, especially towards the end of the year. We never established a run game, partially because our offensive line cannot run block. Mike Davis was really out here creating his own lanes. If you really want to be real, there's no rushing lanes. The running backs that are running on their own recognizance. They're doing their own mission out there, solo. You rarely see running lanes. So
we'll get into that. We'll get into that when we grade the line. Don't fret.
Yeah. We'll get into that. But yeah. So and then we ranked 22nd in rushing yards per game at 4.2. So those are just interesting stats there to support the running backs. Bonifant got hurt. He went to IR, and that was it from Bonifant. But all right. So the grades here. What'd you give it, Dave? Dave gave it an A. I gave it a B. I gave it a B. What's your justification, Dave?
I felt like we lost our top running back. When McCaffrey was in, he was still playing at a high level when he was there. Now, granted, we didn't get any wins out of it, but he was playing at a very elite level. He was playing like he was earning that money, but he got hurt. And Mike Davis stepped in, and he played very well. We could argue that he probably, near the end of the season, struggled a bit, but I think he was battling injuries too. So he played through it.
Sure.
But he played through it. So and considering, and the thing is, man, the run game is very present with the offensive line. And we didn't really have a good offensive line. And we'll get into that when we go over that position. So I didn't want to penalize that position because I know how hard Davis and McCaffrey had to work, and Trent Cannon and Curtis Samuel. I know how hard they had to work to get the yards that they got. I watched them lanes, and they were very closed. So that's where I'm at.
Yeah. So, and again, Mike Davis, I think he was banged up. I banged up a lot towards the end of the season. We went to like a triple-headed monster back there between him, Cannon, and Rodney Smith. A lot of those guys, man. Shout out to Rodney Smith. Had a good game yesterday. He's playing for his practice squad role, whatever his role is going to be next year, or could be playing to get on another team. So shout out to Rodney Smith. Played really well. I gave it a B. Again, I kind of did what Dave said he didn't do. I don't think we established a run game like that. That's partially because we can't run the football like that. So we'll see. Does Curtis Samuel count as a running back there? I did not count him there as a running back. I did not. Not in my grade. Not in my grade. But all right. So that's the running backs. Man, I think we got a solid position group. McCaffrey comes back healthy. I think he's gonna be good. I think this offense was built around Christian McCaffrey in mind. If Christian McCaffrey plays this year, there will not be a triple-headed 1,000-yard machine back there. There would not be 1,000-yard, 2,000-yard wide receivers. Curtis Samuel wouldn't do what he did if Christian McCaffrey's out there. So I do. It's kind of a blessing in disguise for Curtis Samuel, especially. You know what I'm saying? The fact that C-Mac went down and Curtis capitalized. So shout out to Curtis. But we'll talk about them later. Speaking of Curtis, let's move on. Wide receivers. Shifting it there. So including a wide receiver, I kept it limited to Robbie, Curtis, and DJ. That's where I kept it limited to. Just going through these wide receivers. Listen, a lot of these dudes posted career numbers. 66 receptions for DJ Moore, 1,193 total yards. He averaged 18.1 yards a catch. That's crazy. DJ Moore outgained Robbie Anderson on way less targets. 18 yards a carry. 18 yards a catch is crazy. He added 4 touchdowns. Probably could have been way more. Some missed thrown balls. A couple. Obviously, we know about the main one with the Vikings. Another one happened yesterday where he probably could have had that football and dropped it. There was another one. There's a bunch of them. There's a bunch of missed DJ Moore targets. Should have had more receptions. Should have had more yards. Teddy missed them a lot. There's some miscommunications there. Robbie Anderson, 95 receptions. Excuse me, just to go back, all those were career highs, except for the receptions. The yardage and yards per catch was all career highs for DJ Moore. Robbie Anderson, 95 receptions, 1,096 yards, both career highs. 3 touchdowns to add for Robbie Anderson. You hear what he said in his press conference, Dave?
He said,
he said, I wish they'd draw more plays for me to go deep. But we won't go there. We won't go there. Curtis Samuel, 77 receptions, 851 receiving yards, snapped yesterday. He went slam off. Either one or two things is happening with Curtis Samuel. They're trying to boost his stock up for that compensatory pick, or get this man even more money that we're not going to pay him. I don't know. He's going to get a check from somewhere. It's going to be nice. Again, 77 receptions, 851 yards, both career highs, 3 touchdowns. He had 41 rushes, 200 rushing yards, both career highs, 2 TDs, and he had 1,051 all-purpose yards. This is the Curtis Samuel I've been telling y'all about since 2018. Again, I did a 3-part series on Curtis Samuel. I'm a huge Curtis Samuel fan. The reality is I don't think we're going to keep him next year. But I love Curtis Samuel. I'm a Curtis Samuel fan. And this is what I've been waiting to see out the kid since we drafted him. But, Dave, any thoughts on the wide receivers?
They balled, man. I know. And you know what? Y'all going to beat me up about my grade, but it's fine. I know they balled, man.
Dave gave the receivers a B+ because DJ.
Nope. I got to stay on brand, bro. I gotta stay on brand. I mean, they've had occasional droughts, but then it might, some of it might be on Teddy too, but DJ Moore, he balled, man. He had a good year. I can't deny that he didn't have a good year. I can't deny it. I still think he drops a lot of passes, like catchable ones, not just the ones that Teddy messed up. His catch ratio is still kind of iffy. But I think I'm gonna always draft DJ if the value's right, man. That's what I do. But I think Curtis Samuel is gonna be a star wherever he goes, man. It kind of sucks we didn't get to see the full potential out of him.
Listen, and I'll Matt Rule did come out and talk about this earlier in his press conference about, they asked him, can we keep Curtis and Moton? And he pretty much was like, we gotta leave it to the cap guys and all that stuff. Listen, there is a possibility it could happen. Do I advise it? I don't think so. I think Curtis Samuel's production can be replaced. I love him as a talent, but listen, this wide receiver class is loaded. You can always get a wide receiver. Again, you do have to value the wide receiver position. I think it's a very valuable position. But again, you can replace Curtis Samuel's production. It's possible. Kadarius Toney is a guy that's out there. If he drops to the second, that's your Curtis Samuel replacement right there from Florida. He's a good one. I see y'all talking about him in the chat. Shout out to B. Amos. Yeah, that's my guy. I love Kadarius. Go and watch his film reaction video. The dude route running is a problem, bro. I love Kadarius, but you can replace his talent and production. It's possible. You don't have to sink 8 to 10 million into Curtis Samuel. I know y'all don't want it. Y'all don't like it. I know it, but it's just reality.
When we sunk $16 million on McCaffrey, that ended all options of trying to keep Curtis, guys. So whenever you guys say we need to pay Curtis, you got to remember that we gave $16 million to McCaffrey. Whether you agree with the $16 million or not, you have to remember that we gave $16 million to McCaffrey, and we have to sign another player other than Curtis. That's a higher priority. We got bigger needs at this point. I agree that we need to have weapons around Teddy, but at the same time, we got to be able to pay these weapons. They're not going to come cheap.
Yeah, it's a balance. It's a balance, man. It's a balance. This is a good point. J Simp says we do got DJ coming up after that. We do got the 50 option, but again, that's not really a tool for getting guys cheap. That's just a tool to kind of help you negotiate a little bit longer.
We're gonna have to pay him as a wide.
Still got Omar Bayless.
We got to pay him as a wide receiver 1 when we have that 5th year option, because he's going to get paid to average at the top 10 wide receivers in the NFL, and that price has been jumping.
Facts.
I mean, if the Evan Funches can get $10 million, and I don't think Curtis Samuel's not going to have a problem getting $10 million.
This is a good point. Mason Saley says, y'all forgetting Robbie's only here for 1 more year, and Moore also. Moore got the 50 option, so don't be surprised we draft a wide receiver. That's a good point. Everybody keeps saying that, we're not going to draft. We don't need a wide receiver. That's a short-term view, bro. Don't get lost in the short term. If the guy's there, if a guy like Jamar Chase is there at 8, and I'm telling you, man, I wouldn't be mad at it at all, bro. You got to look toward the future. Just depends what's there, bro. Just depends what's there. But
Rule said we need more youth on offense. He made a comment during the press about how we need to be more younger on offense. So,
yeah. But all right, let's move on. Spent a lot of time on the receivers. Let's move on. Tight ends. Let me advance this real quick.
I can walk.
Tight ends. There y'all go.
Vitamin. I can take my vitamin real quick. I'll be right back. I can hear you. Keep going.
All right. Yep. So Ian Thomas. I got some interesting stats for y'all, bro. We're really gonna basically talk about Ian Thomas because Chris Manhurst ain't really nothing. But this dude, Ian Thomas had 31 targets, 20 receptions, and 145 receiving yards. Okay, 45 receiving yards. Ian Thomas ranked 43rd in the league amongst tight ends and targets, and 49th in receptions, bro. And that, you know what that means? That means some backup tight ends or TE2s got more receptions and catches than our TE1. Or, depending on who you listen to, could be TE2 as well. But we did not utilize any of our tight ends, and for that reason, I gave them an F as well. Listen, I don't know whether Joe Brady just doesn't have his guys. Maybe he doesn't have the guy he needs. Maybe these guys just aren't good. Maybe these guys just aren't good. Okay? Maybe that's the case. But we did not utilize them at all. There's a lot of mouths to feed on the offense. They just got caught. There was just a last mouth. Man. There was an afterthought in this offense. And I can't say that Joe Brady didn't know how to use them. Joe Brady used Thaddeus Moss. They had a ton of mouths to feed too, but Thaddeus always got his as well, LSU. So I don't know what's going on. We got to address this tight end position or somehow, some way. I'm not saying we need to go out and draft Kyle Pitts. I think that would be nice, but I'm depending on how the draft goes. But I'm not saying we need to go do that.
If he's the BPA, you take him.
Yeah, I'm not saying we need to go do that, but something needs to be done with these tight ends, bro. I don't know what it is. I have no clue what it is. But I don't know. Man. It's ugly. It's ugly here. Dave, you want to comment on these tight ends? We don't need to spend a lot of time here.
That's why I went to go take my vitamins. So if you guys want to fix tight end, and we need to take one early. And we're looking at one. So I had a lot of faith in Ian Thomas. I thought Ian Thomas was going to make that next step. I thought he would do some damage in this offense with Joe Brady, but obviously I was wrong here.
This is a good point that Perth Panther says that we need a tight end, and it would help the red zone target, the red zone production. I agree there. You look at the guys that we have. I think McCaffrey would help in the red zone, and I think a solid tight end would also help in the red zone. That would help out some of the red zone. So I agree. Good point. There's the guy from Penn State, Baby Gronk, Pat Fair. I can't say his last name, but he's nice too. All right, but we're not spending a lot of time on the tight ends. It's an awful position. Let's move on. All right, so Dave, let's talk about the offensive line here. Let's talk about the offensive line. It's really, from a production standpoint, Taylor Moton's really the only guy to talk about. Taylor Moton ranked 4th in pressure percentage allowed, so at 3.3%. If this was a stat that was floating around on Twitter, if you remove RPO screens and play actions, the dude ranked 4th in pressure percentage. So it's crazy stat. I think Moton played well. He bet on himself, not taking a low ball offer. They probably low balled him in the offseason, this past off season, and they said, "Nah, we're not taking that." And definitely played. He played every game this season, and balled out, bro. He bet on himself. He's probably going to get tagged. They're probably going to keep him around. We'll see what happens. But the rest of the line, you talk about Paradis. I think Paradis he played okay. He played a little bit better than he played last year. John Miller played okay. Chris Reed was very, very up and down. I think he played well yesterday, but for the most part, he was up and down all season, mostly bad. Then the left tackle position, Russell Okung was solid when he was healthy. He can't be trusted as far as health goes. I think he only played like 6 or 7 games this year, something like that. Leaving Trent Scott to kind of fend for himself. Between him and Greg Little, we have no answer for left tackle, and it's bad. We only got one guy under contract next season. We only got Matt Paradis, and obviously, hopefully, we tag Moton. So that's pretty much it, man. That's pretty much it for the offensive line, bro. I gave it a C-. Dave gave it a D+. I'm right there with y'all, man. It wasn't good. It wasn't good. That does not help Teddy Bridgewater at all. If you're going to have Teddy Bridgewater as your quarterback, you have to have a very good offensive line that allows us to run the football. We did not do that very well, and that's kind of what we're left with. Go ahead, Dave.
The only reason why they got a D is because of Moton. That's the only reason why. That's the only reason why.
That's a fact. That's the only reason why mine's a C-. I mean, D+, C- is damn near the same grade. And that's because of Taylor Moton.
Only reason why. Because if Moton would have gotten hurt, thank God he did not, it would have been F. The line's been terrible all year. And that's why, and I've been emphasizing, and I've been harping this all season because the line has not played well. And everybody keeps saying, this is all Teddy's fault. Nah, bruh. Teddy ain't got the help. He got this line. that's got to protect him. He got this line that's run blocking. Moulton is only one guy. He can't do it alone. And we've never did anything to fix this. And this is why when everybody keeps saying quarterback, I'm like, no. Line. We need to fix this line, yo. We might regret now taking an offensive lineman last year in the draft. Big time.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Last year was a really good offensive line class. This year is kind of top heavy. After Penei Sewell, it goes, there's a couple other guys like Rashawn Slater and the guy from Virginia Tech. After that, it kind of goes downhill. And then it gets a little average. I'm not average. I won't say average, but it's a little more challenging. There's definitely going to be some dudes there in the second round for sure. You look at the kid from Alabama, Leatherwood. You look at Liam Eckenberg. He's nice too. So Darisaw, there you go. Big Baston says Christian Darisaw. That's the Virginia Tech guy. Yeah.
Jalen, bro. If we take a QB and we try to build this line with draft picks that are lower than the high level draft picks that we need, if we try to build this line and we put a rookie QB behind that line, that rookie QB ain't going to have any confidence. And we're going to be in a Sam Darnold type of situation or Josh Rosen type of situation, and we wasted the pick on a quarterback and crushed his confidence. So you can't just say, oh, we can get a QB and build the line. So that it doesn't work that way. You need to build things around that QB. Imagine if the Chiefs put Mahomes behind a terrible offensive line.
Well, I wouldn't say that. He's got elite pocket presence, and he can move. So I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't say that. But if you put an average, a slightly below average quarterback behind our line, this is what you're gonna get. He needs help.
Well, I mean, the line killed Andrew Luck. And I mean, I think a lot of folks were screaming that Andrew Luck was an elite quarterback at the time when he was in the league. That line killed his career. Killed him. Look what happened to Joe Burrow this year. Like, you gotta protect your investment. You gotta build around it. That's why I'm not really like into taking a quarterback in the first round. I'd rather wait until we build shit around him before we put a quarterback in a situation like that.
Real quick, Dave. Hey, what's our likes looking like, man? We got 170 people watching, man. Let's hit these likes and get more participation in with these votes, bro. But yeah, man. Hit that like button. 172 people watching. Hit the like button. All right. Moving on. Moving on from the offensive line. Again, there's everybody's saying even if our offensive line was quote unquote average, as y'all say, half of them are gone this year. So now what? So even if you think that our offensive line is serviceable, half of them are gone next year. So where does that leave us? I'll wait. But anyway, let's move on.
They don't have an answer, man. Take a quarterback.
I have no problem drafting a quarterback, but I'm not sticking my investment behind this. And that's my point, is because you want to make sure you time it right. You want to time that quarterback, drafting that quarterback right. But again, if the right guy falls to us, I'm not opposed to taking it, but I'm not putting him behind that. But all right, so let's move on. Defensive line. Let's advance to the defensive line. All right, defensive line. They ranked 17th in pass rush according to PFF. Brian Burns had 9 sacks, which is a career high for him. 3 forced fumbles, 4 pass deflections. It created a total of 57 pressures, which is tied for 7th amongst edge rushers. 7th amongst edge rushers. Zach Kerr, another guy, and this is including edge rushers and interior lines, the whole defensive line. Zach Kerr added 4 sacks, 19 total pressures, both are career highs for him. And another guy we got to give a shout out to, man, is F.A. Obata, man. F.A. Obata had a really good season, a solid season, 5.5 sacks, 29 total pressures, 1 forced fumble, 2 fumble recoveries, all career highs. Listen, this dude was a man of opportunity. He was always there when Brian Burns was just about to make the sack. Obata came and cleaned it up. If Brian Burns came and strip sacked the quarterback, Obata was there to pick it up. So he was always there at the right place at the right time, man. So shout out to those cats. And we already talked about Brian Burns and Yetur Gross-Matos, so we won't talk about those two guys. So let's talk about our grades, Dave. I gave it a B-. I think,
I did too.
and again, I think it's not in part to them. I think they were mis-schemed early in the year. I think Phil Snow did not draw up the pressure as much as he should early, but Phil Snow did something, Dave. He did something about it. He learned from his mistake, and the defense turned the corner. Pressure increased, and that's why I gave him a D. I probably, if I start now, I probably gave him a C- to a D early in the season. But then later on in the season, they came and lit it up, bro. They came and lit it up. So I gave it evened out for me. That's why I gave him a B-. Again, these grades are not just for the most recent version of themselves. You got to look at the entire picture. That's what we're doing. That's why I gave him a B-. Go ahead.
No off season. I'm giving them credit for that. They started slow, but they got better throughout the season, and they were playing like you saw the Phil Snow defense finally get there during the course of the season. And believe you me, I despised that shit at the beginning. I was just frustrated.
Hold the snow talk, Dave.
Yeah,
we'll get to him. But any thoughts on the defensive line, like the players?
No, they closed the year pretty well. We got a young defensive line. I mean, the future's bright for these guys, man. Like Obata, Burns, Roy played well. Derrick Brown played well. The future's bright for this line. Gross-Matos, the future's bright.
Yeah, I still would invest in another edge rusher, personally, maybe in the draft. I'm not saying we got to go out and spend a second, third round pick, but maybe later in the later rounds, I would look to invest in another edge rusher, situational guy. Maybe and what I'm thinking about is the same kind of like a Mario Addison type, where you bring him in as a pass rushing specialist. I think that's what we're missing. We're missing that pass rusher that's going to go in and get after it alongside of Burns. Burns is out there a lot. But I think we're missing that guy opposite of Burns. He needs some help. So there we go. That's the defensive line. You guys kind of are in line with what we're thinking. B. Christian Miller, that's another one. That's a good point. Christian Miller, he's going to be back. I think he's in that tweener role, more of a 3-4 outside linebacker. Not sure how he's going to come out. We'll see. We'll see what we have in Christian Miller next year. That's a good point. Good point. All right. Anything else on the defensive line, Dave?
Nah, we're good, man. Let's move on to the next position.
All right, let's move on. Linebackers, I will advance. So linebackers, we got. Listen, Shaq Thompson had 113 tackles. That did not lead the team. Jeremy Chen led the team in tackles. Career high for him, 113 tackles. You do have to include Tahir Whitehead in this. That's why I put him in this. So don't get it twisted. You gotta include Tahir Whitehead in the linebackers. And Jermaine Carter in the interview today with Matt Rule. Matt Rule came out and said, "Yo, me and Jermaine Carter didn't get along early. Something wasn't right. The chemistry wasn't right." But he had grown to kind of more appreciate Jermaine Carter, and they kind of got it together. Jermaine Carter closed out strong, y'all. I think he closed out really strong. I think he kind of takes us off that pedal of really needing a middle linebacker. Maybe you take another look. If Parsons falls to you, okay, you take him. But maybe that kind of makes you think about it a little bit longer and give Jermaine Carter a little bit longer look. In the run game, listen, though, you didn't see many long runs when Jermaine Carter was out there. Tahir Whitehead wasn't out there giving up them long runs. So we'll see. But I gave the linebackers a C-. And we didn't, to preface this, we did include Jeremy Chen, half of Jeremy Chen in the linebackers in our grades. So, because Jeremy Chen is that tweener, we kind of included half of them. So I gave a C- to linebackers. And again, this is partially because Tahir Whitehead, and we were awful early. We were awful. Phil Snow changed up, went with Carter, and I think got better as the season went along. But yeah, anything on the linebackers there?
I mean, they would have been a D without Jeremy Chen. I'm just gonna be clear. I'm just gonna be straight up with you guys. They would have been a D.
Yeah,
without Jeremy Chen.
Yeah, I adjusted my grade. In fact, I think I had a D, and bumped him up to a C-. because you told me you were including, because I include Jeremy Chen as a safety on my grade initially.
I
Then you
I
told me
included
you
them
were
both.
bumping them up, so I had a D. I had a D.
Without Chen, they're a D because Whitehead was terrible. I like the progression that Jermaine Carter got throughout the season. Shaq, considering what he made, considering what he's getting paid, he needs to be playing better for the position that he's in. But Chen saved this position. I still think we need to draft a linebacker. I stand by that. Unless we think Jermaine Carter's the future and we're fine with Jermaine Carter, we need to think about drafting a linebacker.
Yeah, I think linebacker needs to be in the cards. There's a bunch of good linebackers in this draft. I like a few of them. You got Chad Surratt in a sec. If you're looking for a later round guy, Nick Bolton. There's a couple guys out there that can play. I'm starting to lean heavily into Chad Surratt. I like him a lot. He's a UNC guy. Right up the street. So I think I like Chaz a lot. You can probably get him second, maybe third. Former quarterback. I like Chaz, but we'll see. If we don't go with Parsons, obviously. So anything else on the linebackers?
Nah, we're good on the linebacker core. Let's move on to the important portions of the evening. Secondary.
That's true. This is a good point. Why are we not crying about Shaq's contract too?
I have. I have.
Yeah.
Are
you got to pay the
me?
right guys, man. You got to pay the right guys.
Have. Dude, that the Shaq contract and the CMC contract might send us back years if they don't play to it. Period.
Well, I think there's an out. We can get out of Shaq's contract too, though. His contract is kind of team friendly. I think we can. If you really wanted to, I think you could cut Shaq next year and take like a decent hit. It wouldn't be bad. But I'm not saying we do that. I'm just saying when looking at the cap, you could do it. But yeah. I mean, Shaq ain't you. Listen, linebackers. I mean, I digress. Y'all don't hear me when I be talking, but it's all good. It's all good.
Nah, we gotta get the quarterback though.
Linebackers. All right, linebacker. Let's move on from the linebackers. Let's get into the secondary. Cornerbacks. Let's light them up. Cornerbacks. So according to PFF, we ranked 25th in coverage. Rasul Douglas had 62 tackles. That was a career high for him. Allowed 597 passing yards and 4 touchdowns on the season. Had a total of 9 pass breakups. So pretty solid there with the PBUs. Dante Jackson, up and down season, had 34 tackles, which is actually a career low for him. Missed 2 full games, but also left early in most of the other games that he played in. And so he allowed 366 passing yards, 4 touchdowns, and 6 pass breakups. Cornell had a solid year, 40 tackles, allowed 239 yards, 2 touchdowns, added 3 pass breakups. They did okay. I mean, it's okay. I mean, they did all right. Average to say the least. Shout out to Blunt Sports comments on all my videos. Patrick Surtain should be definitely our pick. I agree. I like Surtain a lot. That man shut down half the field against Notre Dame. They didn't even go his way. I think one time, but I gave the cornerbacks a C. I think Rasul played good starting out. Then they started eating them towards the end of the year. Started torching them. Went at him heavy. He went downhill after he went out for the COVID. He went down. I'm just gonna blame COVID for it. How about that? I'm gonna blame COVID for his production down the stretch because he after he came back from COVID, he was not the same dude. Dante Jackson, again, he just got to stay healthy, bro. Dante can't stay healthy to save his life. I think the only time he played a full season was his first year. And I think he had limited playing time then, so it wasn't really technically a full season. But yeah, man, Dante, he got to stay healthy, bro. I think he's good when he's out there not guarding the number one guy. And Rasul, I think Rasul's solid. I think you can keep Rasul as the number 2 cornerback. And if you add Surtain to that room, I think we'll be solid. Back there. So I definitely think we need to add a cornerback in this year's draft, a good one, not just another average 4th round, 7th round pick. That I wouldn't call that, investing in the room. You really got to invest. Cornerback is a valuable position, when we talk about positions of value, cornerback is it. Cornerback is a valuable position. You got to invest. All right. So, anything on the corners, Dave?
Bleh, the average, man. We got to look into getting drafting one.
Yep, I think we got to get one for sure. All right, let's move on for the cornerbacks. Safeties. Let me advance this. Safeties. I gave the safeties a C. This is another one that I increased. I think this is the one I increased. I included Chen originally on my yeah. So I think I increased this one. All right, so let's check out some of these statistics from these safeties. All right, so safeties, Trey Boston. He had 95 total tackles as a career high. He had 1 sack, 1 forced fumble, 2 fumble recoveries, and 1 interception. I think Shaq was up and down. I think he was piss poor in the run game early in the season. He missed some tackles sometimes. Very up and down, but that's kind of what you get with Trey. I think he's solid, but I think you can do better than Trey Boston. Justin Burrs, 52 total tackles. He had a career high there, and 1 interception. He had the interception in Atlanta, and he had 4 pass breakups. Justin Burrs also had a decent year, but nothing. I mean, there's it is what it is. Nothing groundbreaking there, just average safety play. I really didn't give up too many big plays. I think some of them were there. And I think either the receivers just dropped the ball. We got lucky. But I think they did, it is what it is. Decent. Oh, nah. Dave, anything you got? You got anything on these safeties, P?
They would have been an F if I didn't count Chen. Like for the safeties and the linebackers, it was literally a grade difference from them both because of Chen. They got a grade boost because of Jeremy Chen. My opinion.
That's a fact.
Aggie pride.
Aggie pride all day. But yeah, man. These safeties is what it is, man. It is what it is. And this safety class isn't that great either, so it's not gonna get fixed in the draft. Just letting y'all know. Move Chen back to safety, and I think we'll be in a much better scenario with the safeties next year. That being said, let's move on from the safety. I think that was it. That's it for the position grades. It took us a while to get through, but we're now to the coaches, Dave. To the coaches. I think some smoke is about to happen right here. All right, here let's talk about it, Dave. Joe Brady, offensive coordinator. What you think, man? What you think, Dave?
C-, man. C-. I'm giving him some. I'm gonna give some of him the credit for what he did. At one point we had a top 5 passing offense. I'm gonna give him. He didn't get McCaffrey all season. I'm giving him some of the benefit of the doubt, but a lot of it. And that's the reason why he didn't get a D or an F. The bottom line is he did not know how to adjust. And for what we're paying him, because I know we're paying him a pretty penny, he ain't execute based on what he's probably making.
Yeah, so I think, Dave, you hit it right on the head. For me, it's adjustments. From the micro level and the macro level, right? So look, if you're looking at these games, the third quarters, our offense was awful in the third quarters. Awful, bro. You come out in the second half and you laid eggs, bro. For whatever reason, we could not move the ball. We could not score in the third quarter. I don't know what the rank is. I didn't have time. I had to put this together. I had time to really do a dig.
We're probably worse in the league when it comes to the third quarter.
But it's bad. The third quarter offense is bad. Then you look at the season. We started off hot, but then the back end of the season we were just trash, bro. It's like I don't know what happened, bro. I don't know what happened. We did not adjust. It didn't look good. There's some very questionable play calling and some really weird situations, like calling a QB sneak from the 3-yard line. I'll be a Teddy try to do a little jump thing, but you don't call a QB sneak from the 3-yard line, bro. Like that's just to try to score a touchdown, not to get a first down, to try to score a touchdown. It's just really weird play calls. Again, I cut him some slack. Like Dave said, first year OC, never called plays full time before. This is the first time calling plays full time. So this is his first time. Again, you cut him a little bit of slack there. Listen, he may not have the quarterback to run his system. He may not have everything he needs to run his system. He may not have the offensive line. I think, again, people go back. Everybody want to talk about the LSU tape, all the LSU hype and all that. The man had the best offensive line college football has seen that year. Offensive line play, they had weapons all across the board, B. They had the 3 really good wide receivers, the good tight end, good running back, best quarterback. Everything was handed to them on a silver platter at LSU, bro. And he was the pass game coordinator. He wasn't even the offensive coordinator, bro. The pass game coordinator. So he has some learning to do. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm not going to sit here and say it's, maybe he needs more. Maybe it's his first year. He doesn't have all the personnel he needs. I'm going to cut him some slack on that. But I don't understand. Go ahead.
Because he was the pass game coordinator, we passed a lot, man. We threw the ball way more than we ran this year.
That's what I'm saying. So you didn't establish the run. You got to, when you have a quarterback like Teddy Bridgewater, you can't throw the ball 30, 40 times a game, bro. You can't do that with him. You got to run. You got to establish the run, bro. You got to establish the run. You never establish the run. But that's what I'm saying. So that's why I give it. There's a lot of pieces to go to it. You got to have an offensive line to run the ball, to support Teddy. It's just a lot of things. So I cut him some slack on that. But what I don't understand is, is why is he getting all this all this head coaching love, bro? Like, are people watching what's going on here? Like, yo, maybe
the ownership and the GMs think they ain't had that much talent in Carolina, and maybe the fact that he was an offense coordinator of a team that had 4 different people with over 1,000 yards. It only happened 4 other times. So maybe they're like, yo, this guy knows how to spread the ball around. We should hire him. Maybe get some talent around him and see what happens. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, and I'm gonna be quite frank when it comes to Joe Brady. I think if you guys are truly about bringing in a quarterback and y'all want to draft a quarterback with this draft, we need to let Joe Brady go get a head coaching job.
That's a fact. I agree with that.
If we don't let Joe Brady go get a head coaching job, we're gonna draft this quarterback in this upcoming draft like Zach Wilson or whoever the hell y'all want, and then this man gonna be gone.
Yep. So listen, if you're a long time listener to this podcast, you know we said this earlier in the season. We said this was gonna happen. We said that Joe Brady, if you want the offensive guy like Tepper said he wanted, Tepper said he wanted an offensive minded guy. You hire the offensive-minded guy. You don't go because guess what? The young, flashy OC that you brought in is going to be a head coach in the next couple years. So now y'all want to go out and go get another quarterback to learn this system for a year, then put that quarterback you just drafted, put him in a new system, and his year 1 is going to be the year that Joe Brady's gone to get a head coaching job. That's how you shit on quarterbacks. That's how you get in quarterbacks in these really bad situations, bro. That's why you have to take a step back and look at the situation.
Cleveland, I promise you, bro, he ain't staying if the Falcons or the Texans or the Chargers offer this man a head coaching job. He ain't staying. And he shouldn't stay. He shouldn't. He should go be a head coach. And then Rule will get to hire his offensive coordinator he wants. And if Tepper gets involved this next round, maybe Rule needs to say something about it.
So listen,
Rule should be able to hire his guys.
Hold on, with this, you can't even really hire within if you wanted to. Because listen, the guy that was his successor, Jake Peets, guess who he's interviewing for?
LSU OC.
Guess who he's going to LSU, bro. He interviewing for LSU. So the LSU said, nah, you took our guy, we taking your guy. So you see how that works? Yeah. So you can't even really go like that.
But then it goes back to what I was saying before, man. I stand by Brady was not a Rule hire. I'm gonna live on that one. I'm rolling with that one, bro. That's all I'm saying. So we could legit lose our entire offense And then maybe it might make sense to get a quarterback because now everybody, the reason for Teddy was to run this offense because he knew it. Now everybody about to bounce. Now you can go ahead and go life without Teddy and you can consider it. Because now you can try to get a stable offensive coordinator. So that's where we're at this point, man. Because it goes back, and we'll talk about it goes back to Tepper. Because Tepper said he wanted an offensive guy, and you hired a defensive guy for your head coach. And then you wonder why.
Let's move on from Joe Brady though. But we talked about this when we first hired the cat. We told y'all the NFL is moving to these young offensive-minded guys. This is why you hire offensive guys, because you want the brain. This is an offensive league essentially, and they want the young offensive guys. They're going to pickpocket your guy, and now you left churning offensive coordinators. And now essentially what we've done, instead of not hiring, instead of going another route, who could potentially let us chill without bringing in Teddy, we set ourselves back a couple years if this dude walks. That's just a fact. We potentially set ourselves back a couple years. So, it is what it is, bro.
They always trump the offensive guy unless he's Andy Reid, I guess.
Hold this thought, Jared. Hold this thought. Appreciate the super chat again. But yeah, let's move on from Joe Brady though.
You know what's hilarious about David Allen Tepper? His initials are DAT. DAT.
All right, real quick. Let me get through these rankings. 21st in total offense, 18th in passing yards, 21st in rushing yards, 24th in points per game, 17th in adjusted rank. Dova is essentially the adjusted offensive ranking, and 28th in red zone scoring percentage. 28th. It did get better. I don't know how this dude's getting interviewed for a head coaching job. I don't see it. But
Rashad,
go ahead.
Rashad.
Okay,
Rashad.
All right. My bad. I do know why. My bad. All right. So real quick.
Just remember, Matt Patricia got a head coaching job. Just remember that.
Real quick. I know. All right. I won't go there. Real quick. So this is a history of the offensive line. The offense rankings. So you got the yards per game and scoring per game, just rankings 1 through 32. So as you can see, like we started off okay, and then I think week 3
what is this by per? This per week?
It's per game, per every week. Yeah, every week by week. So as you can see, like it never really stabilized, never went up. Like you want to see the curve go up. It can go down, but you want to see it go up. Like if you're investing in stocks, you want to see it. You want to see the rise so you can jump in and then get the peak.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Right? You want to ride it up. But there's no. It never got better. It just kind of. I don't know. I just thought this was interesting. It may or may not mean anything to y'all, but I just thought it was interesting. All right, so moving on. Phil Snow. Let's talk about Phil Snow. Phil Snow, Dave. Listen, we were all tough on him, man. We were all tough on this dude, bro. We thought he was trash. In fact, Dave, I think Dave wanted him fired. For real.
You're right.
Dave wanted him fired after week 3. Dave wanted Phil Snow.
I wanted more than him fired after week 3, but yeah, he was a part of it. Because he was a big piece of the puzzle.
Yeah, man. So listen, the dude, the 3-man rush, we were real close. We were this close to changing the name of our podcast to 3-man rush because we saw it so often. And so listen, Phil Snow, I think the light bulb went off. He said I needed to adjust. He adjusted, and it turned out very well. It turned out much better considering what he's dealing with. Again, you talk about what Joe Brady had. Joe Brady had all these weapons, right? Joe Brady had all this, all that. And look what he worked with, what he did. Snow didn't have much to work with at all. A bunch of rookies. Okay, he went with a bunch of rookies. No K1 Short, a trash middle linebacker that Rule picked up for him, and he made it do what it do. He made it do what it do, and I think it got again. You want to see progression. You don't want to see things going down or staying even. You want to see progression, and that's what we saw to Phil Snow throughout the season. We saw progression, bro. We saw progression. I think he's okay. I'm more comfortable with Phil Snow right now at defensive coordinator than I was. I think he's still missing some pieces that he wants. I think he wants to run more man defense, in man to man in the secondary. He doesn't have the pieces to do that yet. I think you get him another solid corner. I think he'll be able to execute a little bit better. I think he'll be able to bring up more pressure when you go to that man to man defense. I think there's a lot of things he can do better with better weapons. All right. So I think he was okay. I think he got better throughout the season. Dave, what'd you give him? Dave gave him an A. Wow, you went from firing the man to an A-, bro.
Look, man, the man adjusted. He adjusted, and I understood. Like, I think what it came down to. This is what I flash back to when we went over the grades, right? I remember my tirade about firing his ass. I had a tirade. I'll own up to that tirade. And then I remember us doing the round table. And I remember what Will from Four Man Rush said about the fact of the pieces that he was working with. So as the season progressed, and I saw like some vast improvement with the defense. Still some holes here and there, but I saw vast improvement. I saw that the defense was buying his scheme, and I saw that the defense was playing much better in the second half of the year. And I took a lot of that into account. I mean, but the thing is, that defense played pretty well. Like, against the Packers, they shut the Packers down in the second half.
Yeah, you talking about the Lions, Slim, but they did a good job against the Packers, bro.
He adjusted. The problem is the other side of the ball didn't adjust.
It works both ways, man.
It works both ways. So that's why I gave him an A-. I saw the progression. I see that Rule did hire this guy. And I know that he's not going to. That's his guy.
That's his man's $100
so
grand.
I know that he ain't going nowhere. So if you talk about building a foundation with the defense, they're going to be able to do that. Right now with the offense, with everything going on with Joe Brady, I don't think we're going to be able to do that. He's going to be around for a while. As long as Rule's there, Snow's going to be there. Simple as that. So A- for me.
All right. So I think they did a good job, bro. They did a good job. Shout out to Phil, man. I'm a little bit more comfortable with Phil than what I was.
Way more comfortable with
early.
Phil at this point.
All right, so here's the defensive rankings: 15th in total yards, 18th in total passing yards allowed, 20th in the rushing yards allowed. Got to get better there. 18th in points allowed per game, per gamma, can't spell. 24th in total defense, total adjusted defense, and then 31st, the Achilles heel right there, 31st and third down conversion rates allowed. That's the bad part. Yep, that's the bad part. No, it is real. It is real.
Nah,
it's a fact.
Yeah, but in his defense, they were struggling with third downs last year too under Rivera, and now you're trying to put a new scheme with no offseason. So in his defense, but it still was bad.
Yep.
But
I think they got better. They got better throughout.
They did. They got better over time.
This is a season total. I mean, not a snapshot and just this week.
J Sip, yo, first in fumbles, bro. First in fumbles.
I mean, you're gonna be able to find stats to support anything, but I think that it's good. It's good though. All right, so moving on. I duplicated the wrong slide. So again, Matt Rule. Here we go. Matt Rule, what's your thoughts on Matt Rule, Dave? Season is over. Matt Rule, grade the man from Baylor, reset the head coach and pay scale. Tepper's guy that looks like him, talks like him, acts like him.
I heard Urban Meyer wants to get into the NFL. You know how much how much he's asking for?
$12 million. I saw it.
$12 million, 33% more than Matt Rule. Interesting.
That's how it works.
The owners hate that guy, by the way.
Hey, man. Pay scale. Hey, get your money up then. Get your money up. Your money ain't right.
You ain't kidding.
Get your money up.
Tepper out here messing around with monopoly money. But anyway, I mean, I think me and most of the crew agree. Most of the chat cats agree.
Yeah, I gave him a C. I think average. Listen, I expected us to be bad this year. There's some communication things I thought were awful. I should have gave him a D just based off that challenge he did yesterday. That challenge was awful.
That's why he had a C. I put the minus on off emphasis because of that challenge, bro.
Yeah. So I just think there's some communication. I do appreciate his openness in the media. I think he says a lot of things, whether they're true or not. But I do appreciate him being open and kind of speaking with the media and keeping us, like what he said about Teddy today. He said, "Yo, I'm not committing to a guy. Teddy got to have a hell of a." That's just being transparent, bro. Rivera would have been up there and said, "Yo, that's my guy," knowing he lying. So you know what I'm saying. So I appreciate the dude being as honest as he can be. And listen, I just think there's some communication issues between him and the coordinators. They got to get it. They got to get it right. Challenges were bad. The clock management.
Right there.
Go ahead, Dave.
Stop right there.
Go ahead.
There was some communication challenges between him and the OC. Let's not say the coordinators.
That's
the
true.
OC. Just the OC.
True.
Every issue when it came down to like some clock management, something at the end of the game, something that came down when we had a pivotal moment when we needed the points, it always came down to a communication problem between him and the OC every single time. I think he's rooting for Joe Brady to get a head coaching job at Detroit. So he can try to have the opportunity to bring his own guy in, man.
Maybe.
I really think he is.
Maybe. That's going to be interesting, bro. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting, man. But yeah, I gave him a C, bro. I gave him a C. Listen, the expectations change next year. I'm gonna be a little bit tougher out of these streets, and I think the entire Panther Nation is, and we'll see what happens. Again, he's got a lot of power that I don't like, and we'll talk. Let's go ahead and get into it, Dave. Let's go ahead and get into the discussion.
Wait. I got a question, man. So typically, while you guys vote for the owner, typically, when you have a first-year head coach, you want to see some level of improvement from the previous record from the head coach. How many more wins did Tepper get over Rivera's last season? Not Tepper, I mean Rule. 0.
What? Yeah.
0 wins. Last season we were 5-11. This season we were 5-11, and he's the first head coach to not improve upon the previous coach in his first year. I'm just gonna lay that out there. I'm just gonna lay that out there for you guys. Put it on a platter for you, and then you can make the decision. That's your call. I'm just gonna lay that out there. Every other head coach that showed up improved on the wins, and I think that's probably why a lot of folks within Panther Nation thought he was gonna get 7 or 8 wins. I didn't see it, but I think that's part of it. I mean, they might have took that into play because typically when a new head coach comes, historically we've improved on wins. I actually thought we were gonna do worse. I had us going 4-12 this year, and they went 5-11. So,
all right, this next one we ain't really. I mean, obviously we don't have no control over anything, but we really don't have no control over this. We can complain all we want to, and this is not going to change. Okay, so Dave, what are your thoughts on how David Tepper is running this ship? It looks really bad. We've made some things happen out of order than what they should. And I saw an interesting comment. I forgot what it was, or an interesting quote from David Tepper. His dude said, he said, usually I'm ahead of the game. Usually I either set the precedent or I look like a fool or something to that. I can't remember what the quote was. I got to get the quote, but
I mean, he was a hedge fund manager. Of course, that's how
I know.
Works. Like I
know, but
right,
go ahead.
For those who don't understand how hedge fund managers work, a hedge fund manager believes that they can outscore the general market, right? Like they could beat out the index funds. Most of them don't. He did. Like most hedge managers are a fool when it comes down to it. Like I guess there was one experiment where they put a bunch of hedge funds managers against a cat picking stocks, and the cat beat them all. Like you got to be really good at this shit to beat out the general market. So he's right. You can be a genius or a fool, and right now he's looking like a fool, bro. This ain't the markets.
So yeah. So I mean, it's interesting because I mean when he bought the team, he said and he started to kind of make things happen, let go of Rivera, hired a new coach. He said mediocrity will not be tolerated, Dave. but that looks like exactly what we're doing. And the moves that we make have us kind of going in that direction. Like you're not doing things the way it should be done to make this team successful. Hiring the coach. Excuse me. You have the GM, the holdover GM that's been here forever. You fired the coach, and then you let the GM from the old regime help you hire the coach, and then you fire the GM, and now you're about to let the head coach help you hire the GM. Like it's just it blows my mind. Like it's really really weird. It's really weird on how this is operating.
Look at
Hopefully it works
way.
out. Hopefully he makes us look crazy, bro. But it's not looking good, man.
Look at it this way, man. If Rule's gonna have a say in the GM, we probably won't get Casero.
Yeah, I mean, we'll talk. We're gonna do a whole deep dive into the GMs one of these upcoming weeks. I don't know if it's gonna be Wednesday because I got a lot of research to do, and the way they keep adding names to the list, so it's gonna take me some time. I don't know if it's gonna be Wednesday. I might just hold it until next Monday. We'll see, unless there's something else to talk about next Monday. But we'll see what happens. All right, David Tepper, Dave. I gave him a D. Listen, from what I just said, the order of operations, it does not compute. You can't do things out of order the way he's done them. I think you're kind of taking two steps forward and one step backward. And I think you say the right things. You say I want an offensive guy. You say I want to lean toward analytics, but then you do the complete opposite. You say you want an offensive guy, but then you hire Matt Rule. It doesn't make sense. If you wanted an offensive guy, you should have hired Joe Brady and let him just be the end all be all from the rip.
No,
that should have been your dude.
No, you shouldn't have hired. You shouldn't have hired Joe Brady.
You should have hired the enemy. But
the enemy.
That's a whole.
You should have hired Stefanski.
Yes.
You should have hired you should have hired a guy that has offensive coordinator experience. You don't hire Matt Rule, a defensive guy. Because if you were going to hire a defensive guy, you could have just kept Rivera. Like if you're telling me, and the thing is, Tepper was like, I'm about this analytics life. I don't want an old school football guy. And let me tell you something, bro. Matt Rule has made some old school football decisions throughout this season. So you really kind of hired an old school football guy when you sit down and think about it. So from that aspect, you kind of didn't hire an improvement to your situation. I mean, you could have just kept the guy you had. But I digress. I know folks are probably like, I understand why Rivera had to go. It's been 9 years. We had to get a new coach. I get all that. But if you're going to go back and still hire another defensive guy, you ain't really practicing what you're preaching at this point. Because the guy looked like you, talked like you, and whatever the hell you said when you hired Rule. But, you could have hired Stefanski. He kind of looked like you. He might have talked like you, and you could have rolled with him. And you would have had your offensive guy.
Yeah, I think we did some things the wrong way. Hopefully we can recover, but the way these things are starting to pile up, it's not looking good, man. We got to get the GM hire right. That's at the end of the day. That's why we're going to dedicate a whole episode to it, to go through these candidates, because that's really what matters. I mean, everybody talks about quarterback and all that, but if we don't have the right GM to build it, it's going to be irrelevant who the quarterback is, because we'll end up picking another one once Rule is fired. So listen, I'm not interested in being in that kind of everlasting wheel of mediocrity and trash.
I don't want my owner to be like Shad Khan, bro. You heard about what happened with Shad Khan?
What did he say?
He said something to the effect of, I got the last say on player personnel and things of that nature. So you pretty much saying, I'm a hire GM.
Oh yeah. I did see that.
I don't want my owner to be Shad Khan.
Nah, yeah, he's bugging. He's bugging on that. And then he said, I'm gonna keep it too. Once we hire a GM, it's still mine. Yeah, I was like, bro, there ain't nobody going there, bro. It's crazy. It's crazy, man.
We're gonna find out, man, who's running this show very soon, because a lot of the old Panther Gate is gone now. Like now, this is his.
Facts.
Now
this is no more excuses.
This is his, bro. This is his. AEW is different
And
because the Sun's doing it.
Yeah, and Dave only gave him a D plus. He gave him the plus because the facility gonna be in Rock Hill. That's the only reason why he did that.
No.
He gave South Carolina some love.
No,
That's the only reason why I gave you out a plus.
no, it was a D plus. He got a D plus because
Yeah, Tony Khan is the son, bro. Shad Khan is the dad.
Yeah, Shad Khan. Shad Khan's the owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Correct.
Tony's
the son.
Tony's the son that owns AEW. You're correct. Yeah, Tony's the son that owns AEW.
Yep, two different guys.
Yep.
So all right. So yeah, that's all I got. That's all I got for the owner. I gave him a D. You got some A's. You got some F's, some D's, mostly D's. We're all in agreement that it ain't pretty. All right, moving on. Draft. The draft is upon us, Dave. We're locked in at number 8. Let's just rewind to last week real quick because this is what I said. This is what I said would happen. This was the realistic scenario. I had the Giants losing to the Cowboys. That didn't happen. They ended up winning. I had the Eagles beating the football team. They could have done that, but they decided to go opposite. Do something else.
We should discuss that.
I mean, should we? I ain't have nothing to discuss, man.
All I'm going to say is this. I don't have any pity about what happened to the Giants. It is what it is. I just think what the Eagles did is an example of why you want your folks to play. Peterson is taking a big risk with his team and how that team's going to handle that type of morale with what they did at that game. Period. Point blank, period. My opinion. And that's why you don't tank, by the way. And the Eagles are taking a lot of heat with what the hell happened on Sunday night.
That was awful,
NBC asked for that game. You know what I'm saying? NBC asked for that game.
Yo, did you see the interview with Kelsey?
No.
With Jason? Yo, he snapped. Yo, he was pretty much saying, yo, you play the game to win. Yo, you gonna lose respect from the players. I was like, bro, like he snapped on him, yo.
But that proves my point. Like when people were talking about we need a tank, that is why you don't tank. Because at that point, you got to pretty much replace everybody if you lose the damn players. Especially if you got a first year, especially and like Doug Peterson's situation is different because he's going to get a little bit of time because they won a championship recently. But like for a first year head coach, you cannot tank. You can't as a head coach. You can't do it. You can't.
Yeah, my bad. This wasn't an old interview. Good look. I just Googled it and it wasn't an old interview. My fault. But it's still funny though because his old player just said all this stuff about tanking and back in the day. And he ended up doing it, and he said pretty much saying that you're gonna lose all respect from your players, blah 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 blah. And you saw him like during the game, you saw him like shaking his head during the joint. But it's funny.
It's not a meaningless game for these guys, man. There was a lot of incentives on the line for a lot of these players. A lot of players got some bonuses from Week 17.
Facts.
There's a lot of milestones that happened. Derrick Henry ran for 2,000 yards because of Week 17. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of insane. Deshaun Watson didn't have to be out there. Meaningless game. He's trying to win the game. Like it's not meaningless.
Yep. Yeah, we're picking 8th overall. You gotta play. You play to win the game. 8th overall. We're locked in, and I think we're in a good position, Dave. Just real quick to recap. Some of the guys we drafted 8th overall, couple running backs. Tim Batuka, we drafted him in 96, 8th overall. Jordan Gross, the last left tackle we had. The last good left tackle we've had, franchise left tackle, drafted number 8, 2003. I hope we repeat that story. We can alternate here. Running back, left tackle, running back, left tackle, see the pattern. And then 2017, obviously, we drafted McCaffrey at 8th overall. So this is a quick.
You know what that means? Left tackle. Next time, left tackle.
Yeah. We're hoping left tackle, man. Hoping we go left tackle. And let's move on. So here's our schedule. It's not the schedule, but the opponents that we're playing next year. If we play, that's interesting. If we play the 17th game, it'll be against Houston. We don't have any like that schedule is tough. That's gonna be tough next year, bro.
Not really.
It's
NFC
gonna be rough.
NFC East is trash.
They're trash this year, David.
They're gonna be trash next year too. Nothing's changing of how trash they are. They were a trash division last year. They're a trash division this year. They're going to be a trash division next year. And you know why they're going to be a trash division? Because they're just the NFC East. The only benefit of them playing is that I actually might get to catch some of these games on Flive TV next year because the Giants game might end up being on television. I'm going to get the Patriots game. I might get the Bills game, and I might get the Jets game. So I might have some opportunities here. But nah, I'm more worried about playing the NFC East, truth be told, AFC East, truth be told, because 3 out of those 4 teams might be good next year.
Bills, Miami, all those teams. Miami's going to be solid. Bills going to be solid.
Patriots might be good too if they get a quarterback.
Patriots could be solid, and they get all their COVID people that opted out. Bucks should be solid. Hey, man, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough sledding, bro.
Now, I wonder what the Saints are going to do without Breeze because he pretty much announced his retirement.
Yeah, Breeze said he's going to retire. So, and they got to find a quarterback too. They might take Teddy back. You never know.
They might.
Never know. They might. They still could probably re-sign Jameis for the low.
Teddy's going to beat our ass both games.
Now Taysom was on a 1-year deal. I think that was a 1-year deal.
Nah. I thought he signed like a 3-year deal or something like that.
Was it 3-year?
I think he got paid like $8 million a year or something. They paid him more than they paid Jameis. But man. I mean, it'll be interesting. We got a third place schedule, so that means we got to play the Vikings and the Cardinals, and we might have to play Houston. That's going to be interesting. So the big thing that I see right now is that I think we're going to have to play Cam Newton next year, yo. That's my thought. I think we're going to have to play Cam Newton next year. He might have his blood and guts game. I think you guys can figure out where I think he's going. So he's not going to be in the Patriots anymore. So
yeah, he got a Taysom. Damn, I know Taysom was 31. But Taysom he signed through 2021.
Okay.
So yeah.
Cam's gonna be at Washington. You are correct, J-Sam. He's going to Washington, guys. It is too much for it not to align.
All right, that's all I got, man. That's all I got. Interesting. I would take some calls, but it's late.
Nah, let's take a couple. We'll at least take 2 or 3.
Man, you tripping, Dave?
I know it's late, but we got to take a couple. After the season that we just had, we got to take a few. Just a few.
Man, I'm tired too, bro. We got to make this quick.
Yeah, just take like one.
Yeah, man, this is interesting season. It's interesting. Here. What's good? You got to mute something.
What's up?
There you go.
No, I was just trying to mute the YouTube on my other browser. The one thing I don't think y'all didn't mention was special teams.
I did send a grade. I will say.
I gave the punter an A. I thought we punted well all year. We ended up in the top 10 for punt yards. Pilardi's probably cut next year. That saves us like $2 million on the cap. Especially when you get hurt with a off the field injury. Like, I don't know what he was doing, playing with his kids or whatever, but you tore your ACL not playing football. So yeah, that's the game. 0 punts blocked. I love the fakes throughout the year. I think if there is any coordinator right now on this staff that should be getting head coaching looks, it's Chase Blackburn. I think he could be the next Joe Judge. He could be the next Harbaugh. Be that person that was a special team assistant to go be a head coach. Former Super Bowl champion. He has a pedigree. So I think it was great. I think I gave kicker a C and returners a C. One thing I texted Noli, he's popped it in here now, I see, is we put Sly in a lot of really bad positions, and it shows in the stats when you dig deeper. So from distance, he was 1 for 6, 50-plus yards. But other than that, he was 7 for 8 from 40 to 49, 10 for 10 from 30 to 39, 11 for 12 from 20 to 29. No kicks shorter than 29. So if he is on the team next year, we need to start treating him like he has a 55-yard leg and not a 65-yard leg. Because he showed he can't hit him. So we need to treat our offense and treat our kicker like, hey, we got to get into position. We got to get closer and stop trying to rely on 65, 63-yard kicks moving forward. And I think you'll see that those numbers bounce back for him. Not that we can't upgrade there. I think we can. Obviously, they brought in somebody during the season to try and compete, but kickers are a hard position to figure out. There's never enough good ones in the league. So
We had one.
that's true. We had Bucker.
We definitely had
Gano.
Bucker.
And
We
Gano.
drafted one. Chiefs took him and won a Super Bowl with him.
I'm not too worried about what's old boy leaving? I can't remember his name right now. If he leaves, he leaves. Brady. Yeah, I mean, I don't get the hype over someone whose offense is in like the bottom quarter of the league. Like
I'm not. Listen, look. Rashad told me not to say nothing. I'm not saying nothing. The man wants to go. Let the man go.
But
look,
here, I want to say this. I want to say this because Rashad told you not to say nothing, but I'm gonna say something. So
I don't know. I just say
we talk about coaching trees, right? And we talk about Rivera's coaching tree and Belichick's coaching tree. So here's a coaching tree that we need to start adding. Is what's up, old dude for the Rams, their head coach, Sean McVay. McVay's coaching tree is going to be Joe Brady, Cliff Kingsbury, and all these young single white guys calling plays. That's his coaching tree, and we need to start keeping records on what they're doing in the league.
Yeah, I think it's interesting, man. And listen, I think the best offensive coordinators in the game. This is why I'm not like hype around this cat.
Zach Taylor, Zach Taylor too. Don't forget about Zach from the Bengals.
The best OCs get the best out of their talent, bro. You put the guys in the best places to succeed, man. And I ain't see that this year. Even with the lack of talent or the perceived lack of talent, you got to work with what you got. And the best offensive coordinators have a record of doing so. That's why I'm like, man, this dude. I'm not buying that. Listen, I'm not buying the hype, bro. I'm not buying the Joe Brady hype. I was in. I took a bit of the apple a little bit early, but then I'm like, bro, this dude. Go ahead, Dave.
Fam, let that man go. If he wants to,
I wouldn't be mad.
If he goes out and get a head coaching job, let him get a head coaching job. You know he's probably going to end up. He's going to probably end up in LA.
No, I agree.
And I'm gonna watch LA crumble, and I'm gonna enjoy watching LA crumble.
I'm gonna let Noli go, but be careful when you do this GM episode because I feel like in this next week or two we should have a GM. Like y'all gonna have to do that one quick because we shouldn't be waiting until Super Bowl Sunday to hire somebody.
No, I'm gonna do it. I'm probably gonna do it next Monday.
And a lot of the folks that we're interviewing, they're not in the playoffs right now. So if we do have one soon, I'm afraid we're gonna take the guy from the Patriots and I'm gonna throw out.
Bro, please.
All right, y'all be safe.
See you, man.
Go ahead, Noah. What you got?
What's up? I want to quickly talk about the coordinators. For me, with the Brady, I guess I thought the offense looked much better. I do think he's talented. I do buy the hype. I just think he's young and he needs time. And he needs time. Is he ready to be a head coach? No. But if he leaves, I'll be fine too. I mean, the main hire is Matt Rule. It's not Joe Brady. So it's Matt Rule's job to get it right. But if you watch the offense, I mean, you have 4 players that got 1,000 yards. Like, he is skilled. And we talk about LSU all the time, but LSU's always had talent on offense. It was the year he came in, they finally, had that magical run. Like, let's remember, OBJ and Jarvis Landry were on the same roster on LSU. They've always had talent. Joe Brady comes in there, and that's when they finally were good. So I believe in Joe Brady, but I agree with Dave. If he wants to go, he can go. I'm starting to believe more that it was a Tepper hire. I think Phil Snow overperformed. I thought it was going to be complete train wreck on defense. But overall, I agree with the QB situation. I would rather wait because Joe Brady's going to get a head coaching job soon. So
Yep,
I would rather
just
wait.
a matter of time.
Exactly. So if we're going to get a QB this year, third round, Jamie Newman, somebody like that. Other than that, I'm kind of with Shot. When he said it blows my mind the way we hired all this, that's where I'm at. I see a train wreck coming as far as a power struggle. You have the owner meddling. Okay, he hired Matt Rule. Okay, but then I didn't expect him to give him 7 years, and he kept Hurney, like you said. And now, based on the GM he hires now, let's say he hires one of the younger GMs that's 32, 33, then it's going to be like, okay, he's a yes man. So then Rule has all the power. But then if he hires someone legit like Ed Dobbs, what does that mean? I just see a train wreck coming as far as a power struggle. And so I'm interested in what's going to happen with the GM hire, because I think that's going to tell us one or two things.
Yeah,
I
it
think
will.
if the GM hires somebody that has a lot of NFL experience, I think Matt Rule days are numbered, bro. Because I don't think he's going to get the collaboration that he's asking for.
How crazy would that be if you help hire the dude that fires you, bro? Like that's just crazy, bro. Like this whole thing is weird.
This is why I want to this is why I go back to I'd rather just let Joe Brady make a move and go become a head coach, because then you're gonna truly see whether or not who's really running the show from certain aspects. You know, maybe like with Tepper saying he wanted an offensive coach, and maybe he decided that he didn't want Bieniemy or Stefanski, and he went with Rule because Rule gave him the commitment that maybe he could still do that Tepper can have a say in the offensive guy or something like that. I don't know. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of layers to this.
Dave, I think you're on to something.
Because if Brady walks, and then it's time for Matt Rule to pick an OC, and then all of a sudden we get another OC that, you know, they put him in the room by himself, ask him questions of how he get hired, how he got paid, because that presser with Joe Brady, man, when he first got introduced, showed me a lot. It showed me that I don't think Rule picked the guy. Yeah,
Dave, I think you're on to something. I think because like Matt Rule probably was like, I mean, if you're gonna pay me $70 million, of course I'm gonna leave. And it kind of goes back to a point Slim said. Maybe Matt Rule's agreed to kind of not be a yes man, but he allowed, okay, if you're gonna pay me that much, I just want to do this, this, and this. And you, as the owner, if you want to hire the offensive guy, I think you're honest. I think that's actually spot on. So
it's gonna come to light over time, especially if Brady walks. Like if Brady walks, because it never was disclosed how much they're paying him. If Brady walks, it's gonna come to the light. It's gonna come to light. It's gonna come to light. That's why I want to see it. You know what I'm saying? You already trying to hire this man. You already got this man getting interviews already with the offense that he showed. Let him go. He's probably gonna get a job anyway, and we're gonna have the discussion.
It's inevitable. And it's gonna happen. If this dude's already getting interviews, he's gonna get hired, whether it be next year or the year after that. And then the problem I have is that you're gonna have to bring in a new offensive coordinator, and everybody that wants to draft a quarterback. Now you're stuck with us drafting a quarterback. That's why I think there's so many variables you got to consider when you draft a quarterback, man. It's so many variables. It's not just that simple, bro. It's not that. And then, I mean, and the bigger point is that, hey, you see the kind of things, the beef between, or the throwing each other under the bus, Teddy and Matt Rule. Like, what if Brady brought in Teddy? That's Brady's guy.
Oh, absolutely.
And then Matt Rule don't even want him here. Like that. I mean, 100%. That's a whole nother. I mean, we're getting into gossip at this point. This is all fake news, by the way. We just talking right now. We're throwing around hypotheticals. So don't nobody run and be like, "Oh, this is what this." We just talking shit right now. But
but look, the pieces are there to see. Like you just see it. Like when as soon as we signed Teddy, we knew it was the beginning and end of Cam. You knew it was about Joe Brady because of the fact that you knew the offense already. You knew how it was going to go down. And then when the season started going, Rule's throwing him under the bus. He's throwing Rule under the bus. Like, you're seeing it back and forth.
Shad, that's not fake news. I think that's spot on. Obviously not
I mean,
confirmed,
I just don't want to.
agreed.
It's straight
I'm
opinion,
not
yo.
anybody else. Yeah,
Oh
it's
yeah, we
all
got
opinion,
integrity.
yo.
We don't spread fake
Yeah,
news. I
yeah, we're
forgot.
not spreading fake news. Man.
Yeah, I wanted to end on this. Whatchamacallit. I do believe if you watch Brady's offense, I think if you have a quarterback that pushed the ball down the field and you just have some semblance of protection, it's a very well designed offense. The only critique I have of it is it doesn't use the tight end. Dudes get open easily in that system. I like the offense. It's just I would be okay with him leaving higher. Maybe that if we can maybe go look back, who's the guy we were considering? He was a former Giants wide receiver coach. Hire another type of coordinator to where it'd be like Phil Snow, where he's not going to leave immediately, you know. So that's all I got to say. I'm interested. I think I agree with Rashad. Ed Dobbs is my number one preference for GM.
It's my guy, yo.
I really like him, and hopefully we don't hire a GM before you're done with that video. That'd be kind of funny.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna be mad because I got let me show y'all, man. I'm like.
Sound like we better do that joint on Wednesday.
No. I just got the names right now, but I started doing research and just to give y'all a sneak peek into what I'm doing. Like I'm going back, I'm looking at all. This is why I'm not gonna be ready by Wednesday because I'm going back. I'm looking at these draft classes. I'm looking at like for instance the guys that have been GMs before, looking at their draft classes, looking at their history. Look at like Jeff Ireland. Like I said, Jeff Ireland was my number 2. I don't think he's my number 2 anymore based off of what he did in Miami. You know what I'm saying? So like I've taken him down a notch after doing that research. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of research involved, and I'm trying to provide the best content I can so that y'all can see why I think I think the way I think. And I already did that research with Dobbs. That's why I'm already.
I love Dobbs.
I'm all on board with Dobbs.
With some of these, it's hard to tell how much of a say they had in the draft, especially for like a cap guy. That's why I guess it could take you some time.
It's gonna be difficult. Yeah, with the guy from Cleveland, the analytics kid, it's gonna be hard. I don't know if he's a kid or not. He looked young, but it's hard to kind of see, like you're saying, what he has done, but you can peek into the history and then see what his predecessor or what his mentee or mentor is doing, and then you can kind of see kind of what he's picking from. So that's kind of where I am. That's kind of
perfect. I'll be looking forward to it. I know it's late. I appreciate it. So
it's all good. I'm up now. It's all good.
I appreciate you. That's looking forward to that. Definitely, people need to pay attention to the GM hire before we start getting all these mock drafts. Let's look forward to the GM hire. That's going to tell us a lot, and then we'll go from there. And I'm with you. Guns blazing next year. We got to be definitely tougher. It's the critiques will be tougher next year. We're going to be all in, but I'm hoping we can get. I'm really hoping we can get Joe Brady out of the system and kind of let him go. I'm for real. Like, because I agree. It's delaying the inevitable, man. Like we know he's going to get hired somewhere else. I don't think he deserves it. But I know he's going to get hired somewhere. It doesn't matter what we think. It's going to happen. I'm just afraid we're going to. Sorry, I want to say, I'm just afraid that if we do that, though, that like then since Teddy isn't a rule guy, I'm afraid we're going to reach for QB or be desperate to get a QB. Where I'm with you. Let's wait till the whole line is built. So that's a downside I see of Brady leaving.
But here's my thing, Noli. I have a fear that we might still try to get a QB with Brady there. And if we're gonna do that, I'd rather have Brady the hell out of here.
That's worst case scenario, right?
That's
worst case scenario, man.
That's where I'm at. Like if they're really thinking about taking a quarterback, like Rule didn't have great things to say about Teddy during that presser, bro. So if that's a consideration, you might as well go ahead and get Rule out the paint because he's gonna be gone within the next year anyway. If he ain't gone this cycle, he's
Brady.
Brady. My bad. You might as well let Brady because. Brady's going to be gone within the next year. If he ain't gone this year, he's going to be gone the following year.
Like, see, that's what I'm saying. And it all goes back to Tepper. Like, we just the decisions that you're making, bro, just don't make any sense. Like, and I don't make millions of dollars. I'm just a dude on the internet. But like, these things are obvious, bro. Like, what you're doing just doesn't make any sense. You bring in Joe Brady, he brings in a quarterback. You sign him to a 3-year deal, and then you fired the GM that gave him that deal, and then your guy, the guy that you brought in for the OC, is about to get another job, but his quarterback is still here, and we're still left with the remnants. And then you bring in another OC, and then he's working with his old quarterback. And then or if you draft a quarterback in this offseason, you drafted it with the assumption that Brady's here. Let's say Brady waits another year and then gets hired. Mm-hmm. Now we're in a situation where the quarterback is learning Joe Brady's system, and then Joe Brady gets another job. You hire another OC, and then Teddy's gone. Then you enter the new OC. So the first year is this dude learning a new system when he should have been sitting on another guy learning the system. Like, it shit doesn't make any sense, man. Like, that's why this is why I'm like, I'm not. This is why I've been trying to tell, and I've said this before. This is not my first time saying this. I've said this before. This is this energy I've been giving y'all with the whole drafting the quarterback. I get it. If a guy falls to you, take him. I'm with you. But there's other things behind it, bro. That's surface level thinking. You got to get past the surface level thinking and look at the bigger picture, man. It could be really bad if we take a QB under Joe Brady and he leaves. And then he gets another job. This dude spent his whole rookie year learning the system, and then you cut Teddy Bridgewater because his contract's over. You can cut him with minimal cap hit, and then you hire a new OC, and this OC it started with a new quarterback that he didn't even want. Essentially, like he didn't have a say in hiring in drafting this cat, and now he got to learn your system. Is he even the guy to run your system? And then you get into that constant system of firing, hiring. It doesn't make sense, man. It don't make sense.
It is, and the owner meddles. Let's be clear. He decided. I'm 100% convinced David Tepper decided that Cam Newton was going to be cut before he even interviewed Matt Rule. Who knows? Maybe Matt Rule wanted to work with Cam. I doubt it, but who knows? I'm convinced Tepper made that decision, and he also, I'm 100% sure, forced Hurney to draft Will Grier. So I'm with you. It's very, very confusing. There's no structure. But yeah, let's see what this GM hire is. And fingers crossed.
That's the first step. That's the first step. Yeah, who's the GM, and then we got to figure out, what his background is, what his quarterback philosophy, because that's important too. A lot of these guys like Jeff Ireland, I think he drafted Tannehill. I think people are saying he drafted Tannehill, but he also drafted Pat White too. So he also drafted Chad Pennington. So there's some. I'm telling you, I've been doing this. I don't play no games, yo. When I'm in, I'm all in, bro. So there's some things we need to figure out and assess before we once the GM is hired. That philosophy matters, bro. Philosophy matters.
Barring anything you find in your research, I think Ed Dobbs will still be your one. So
yeah, he's gonna be my guy. I think he's my. I don't think there's anybody that's gonna overtake him. Maybe the Chiefs kid, the Chiefs cat. The Chiefs cat has been around that for a long time. I might, depending on what his role was in that. If I can figure out what his role was, maybe he might. But I don't think anybody's gonna take Dodds. Dodds is my guy right now.
Appreciate it. Well, thank you as always, and looking forward to that video. Y'all have a good evening.
Henny. You're right. Sorry. Yeah. All right, Noli. You're right. Not Chad Pennington. Chad Henne. Yes, you're correct. Grandizer. He's right.
All right.
Great. Chad Henne, and he drafted Pat White as well. My bad. You're right. All right. So that's gonna be it, man. Again, make sure y'all hit that like button. How many likes we got, man? How many likes we got?
I don't know.
Somebody check. Somebody let me know how many likes we got.
Let me see.
How 90? Man. If it was at 100, I was going to do a giveaway, bro. Well, maybe next week.
94.
Maybe next week. All right. That being said, man, let's get up out of here, bro. Let's get up out of here. I do got some jerseys to give away, but it won't happen today. I'm tired. It's going to happen. Get the likes up. Maybe
got
next
jerseys
time.
to give away, man?
I do.
I should give this away, but I'm not going to. Don't do that. This joint is going for like $300 right now, bro.
Don't do that. Don't do that on this podcast, B. This ain't the podcast for that.
I know. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
But all right. So that being said, man, I'm getting out of here, bro.
Slim just said he's on 100. They made 100.
It's too late, man. It's too late. I'm tired, and I got to set the system up. It's too late. Maybe next time I'll do a giveaway. But all right, man, that's gonna do it. Make sure y'all hit the like button, subscribe. We're trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the draft. So let's get for that draft party. Just imagine how epic the draft party would be if we hit 4,000 subscribers, and that's the 4,000 subscriber giveaway. Imagine how epic that would be. Just imagine how epic that would be. And I found a gem. I found a gem in the archives that I'm gonna give away. It's imperfect, meaning there's it's not the perfect signature and it's not in the right place, but it's a Panther legend. Okay, just imagine how epic that's gonna be. All right, so 4,000 subscribers. That's the goal. 4,000 subscriber giveaway needs to happen at the draft party. All right, let's get it. All right. That being said, I'm getting out of here, bro.
Yeah,
I'm
let's
out.
shut
All
it
right.
down, man.
Let's shut it down. Thank y'all for watching, man. Keep pounding. Panther
Peace
Nation
out,
PT on
guys.
Twitter, Panther Nation Podcast on Facebook, YouTube, whatever, blah, blah, blah. We out. Peace.